Hello and welcome to round number 10 of the AK Racing ACC Sprint Cup. My name is Matt Nipris and I will be joined tonight by Connor Bell and Matthew Dodd. I haven't quite got that done. Right, there we go. So those will be the gentlemen joining me in the commentary box a little bit later. Unfortunately, they are a little bit busy at the moment. But in any case, they will be joining us in the commentary box very, very soon. Welcome to a wet and miserable Silverstone. What a surprise. We're in England and it's pouring down rain. Very unusual. But anyway, we are here racing once more, and we look like as if we have quite a few entries so far in the server, which is great to see. A few new names, I think. Marsden is not a name that is familiar for me. Dave Ross, who has... Oh, well, he's actually swapped. I think he was in a Honda a little bit earlier in the season. But anyway, he is on track. Let's try and find someone who is on track at the moment, which is Chris Munro. Apparently second in the session so far. He's trying to fight with Laurie McLaughlin. Wow, we've got some frame rate droppage like you would not believe. That is really odd. At least it was for me. So Chris Munro running around in the Bentley as ever. Looks like a bit of a livery change for him. So far second in the session. In fact, he's going to bail out of the lap. How many cameras do we have? Only 2 sets. Okay. Well, we're going to have a look at Matt Cotter anyway, the spinning torpedo. As he bobbles his way around this wet and miserable Silverstone circuit. We will try and find someone on a quick lap. Oh, there we go. We have got Stephen Marsden. He's going to take us for a quick lap around this circuit. Brilliant circuit, of course. One of my more favourite tracks in the world. Very fast, lots of long corners. Got a few technical sections, which one of which we are coming up to right now, which is, of course, Maggots. This very fast left, right, crash over that curve, and then another left before it tightens into another right hand that brings us onto the very long hanger straight. So, as we just said, this track very fast, very flowing, lots of long corners, a few hard braking zones, and I just find this track to be very enjoyable to race around. As Marsden now takes us up towards Club, one of the first hard braking zones of the track. This is one of the slower corners on the track as well. Got to try and cut as close to that sausage curb as you possibly can and not get too greedy with the right-hand curb. And then again, try to grab as much of that curb without clipping the sausage curb before we come onto, I believe, the Formula 1 main straight. And then we head in towards the village hairpins. Oh, Marsden gets it a little bit wrong. Just already clipped the exit curb, and well, there's no grip out there when it is wet, so Marsden has had a semi-lose. He's managed to save it at least and not put it into the fence, which is good to see. As now we come down towards the final few corners to complete the lap. Once again, another long straight that comes into a very tricky left-hander. To enter in hard, but you also got to try and slow it down because it does tighten towards the end there. And we head towards the final corner. We'll see a lot of different lines through this long right-hander as we have another little screen freeze there. I think that was just someone joining the server though. We'll see a lot of different lines in that last corner. Double apex, holding it onto the curb. You name it, we will see it there. And that is one lap around Silverstone. So, Stephen Marsden, I don't think I've seen him in the series thus far. He is running a number 2 Bentley. So Bentley's once again proving rather popular in AK Racing. We have 4 of them in the server, no less than 4. So Terry Darwin goes up to 6, sorry. Just slides in behind Alex Spinozzi. Great to see Alex Spinozzi back on a stream again. So we have a car off the track. That's Jono Ball in the Bentley. That has not gone to plan for him. Not sure what happened, but sure it wasn't that serious. Matt Cotter again in the Aston. Still looking like as if the car's not quite behaving how he would like it in these tricky conditions. So I'm sure he will get the hang of it. Of course, Matt Cotter, not exactly a slouch driver, that's for sure. As manages to hang on to it in Maggots. And onto the hangar straight. Let us know where you're joining us as well from right around the world. Always love to know how far these broadcasts reach. It's actually very humbling, in fact, to know when people are joining us from, say, England or America. And if it is your first time here on the channel, make sure you hit the follow button because we have a lot more sim racing for you in the coming few weeks. Of course, this Thursday, we are wrapping up our Super GT League. So make sure you follow the page, give us a subscription if you like. It'd be much appreciated. Don't be afraid to shoot some biddies our way as well. Make sure you play with the little stickers that we have as well. Got a couple in there that are free just for you to play around with. And if you're joining us on YouTube, which is of course the recording of this stream, make sure you head over to twitch.tv/Go Race Promotions so you can catch all the action live as it happens. We continue to see Cotter just struggling to get the 99 Aston. Still struggling to get the power down in the 99 Aston. Alex Spinozzi Sim Racing, I have an update finale livery, just FYI. I'm assuming that would be for the Lexus GT 500. Unless you actually got a new livery on tonight. No, that's nothing special there, Alex. It's looking exactly the same as the last time I saw it. Lots of pink bits on it. We'll give you benefit of that. Whoa, hang on, there we go. Let's go to free camp. No, nothing special about this one. So you must be talking about the GT 500. Oh, who was that? Andy O'Hara. Good to see Andy O'Hara back in the car for another night of crazy racing. Lockie Nichols. He's back in the Lamborghini. So I believe he had a quick stint in a different car. Can't remember what it was, but he's back in there. Oh, Alex Spinozzi. No, I meant for tonight. It's just different to normal slightly. I'm going to guess it's the little white highlights there, Alex. Yeah, I can see the white highlights. Is that what's different, Alex? Well, anyway, wait for Alex to respond. I'm sure he'll give us a heads up as to what's happening. My bird is going crazy in the background if you can't hear him. So he is very excited for tonight's racing as well. And we have a car off the track. That is Malith Ataniak. Good to see that Malith is back for another round. I think we missed him at the previous round. He's one of a few drivers that didn't quite make it for the previous round, which was, if I am, oh God, I do too many of these streams. I cannot remember the last round of ACC. for AK Racing, as Malik gives us a quick little flick spin. That was yeah, A for effort. That's style points right there. He's gonna have to pull something out if he wants to get to the front. Oh, we have another car off at the first corner. That is Terry Darwin in the Team Up Garage Honda NSX. I believe that would be one of the in-game liveries as well. Oh, there we go, GPX Racing for Ryan Houlihan. There is the fastest driver in the session so far, Laurie McLaughlin, an AM driver. And, oh, geez, showing all the pros how to do it in the rain. Of course, we are only in the final practice session for tonight. Last single round was Zandvoort, and last race was Suzuka 2.5 hour. That's the one I was trying to think of. I think I need to take a bit of a break from streaming. What do you guys reckon? I'm starting to lose it, I think. Oh, well. Laurie McLaughlin, fastest man in the session so far, doing very well. Let's follow Alex Spinozzi as he goes out on the track with that special livery. Saturn Metallic and a different number livery. Oh, okay. What were you before? You were 95, that's right. 95, I can't remember. No, it was a double-digit number, but 925 number we are all familiar with from Alex Spinozzi. So, currently 6th in the session. Probably made I would imagine he has made quite a few changes since his last stint. We'll wait and see how the 925 handles it. And I'll keep waiting for my co-commentators to join. So if you haven't got yourself a cup of coffee or a beer to enjoy this this race, you should probably head off and do that right now. But in the meantime, we have recently just announced on our Discord, the Go Race Motion Sim Sports Discord, that we have opened entries for the ACC Masters League, which of course will utilise the Group A and Group C mods from Assetto Mods. And if you want to get involved in that league, here is our Discord. Right there, bam. Join up with our Discord and put in your entry. And of course, the last round of Super GT coming up this Thursday. And we also have TCX event number 2 coming up on the 7th of January. We've got 7 drivers signed up, 3 in GT3, 1 in V8 Supercars, and 3 in GT4. If you haven't heard of TCX, basically it is the gathering of some of the greatest touring cars from around the world, and we put them on track together and go racing for one of the most greatest sites of multi-class racing you'll ever see. Well, TCX number 1 was quite enjoyable. I was actually on track for that one, and certainly a great mix of cars, great mix of racing styles. You had to manage the traffic and manage your own patience as well, particularly if you were in a GT3 car like me and you were coming up on the V8 Supercars. Huge shame that we didn't get much interest in the TCR class, but well, GT4 already really popular among the Go Race Promotion Sim Sports community, so we're happy to keep going with that. Let's have a quick look. We have Chris Munro, one of the Bentley boys. Oh, we have one car off at turn number 1. I don't know who that was. It was car 68 from memory, and that was Shane Poole in the Roger Ramjet Aston Martin. So, yeah. The tricky conditions are catching a lot of people out in this final practice session. It doesn't look as though... Well, actually, I take that back because the forecast is going to change. We can see in about 30 minutes' time that the weather should start to ease. Hopefully we get a dry race, but, well, there's nothing like a bit of wet weather to throw the cat among the pigeons, as, well, as we can already see in this practice session. We have got an AM driver on top. Really good to see. So... Unfortunately, not much else to talk about right now. However, of course, we'll be streaming. If I'm not mistaken, I'll just jump on the AK Racing Discord as quickly as I can. Let's have a look. So. It would appear that my co-commentators are ready to join, so let's go ahead and bring in Matt Dodd and Connor Bell. So we'll be right back. Okay, so joining me in the commentary box finally is Connor Bell and Matt Dodd. Gentlemen, welcome to the commentary box. How are you guys feeling tonight?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good myself.
Oh, we have an echo there. Someone watching the stream as well.
Oh,
it's
that
Connor.
coming from me?
He's got God mode on. That's what it is. He's gone all ethereal on us.
how's that happening?
Not really sure, but it sounds amazing. That is amazing. Well, a lot of people do say that you're a bit of a god in Grid 2 for the V8 supercars, so I guess this proves it.
How do I fix that?
Not really sure. Is it maybe coming through someone else's speaker? Has someone got their speakers on or something?
I've got push to talk on.
Oh.
I mean, I've also got push to talk on, and I've got headphones. So.
Did it just stop?
No, we've got both of you in God mode. I'm the only one who's not sounding ethereal. I'm feeling ripped off. It's my stream, and I'm sounding ordinary.
Yeah, yikes, I don't know.
Well, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. It adds to the stream.
Yeah.
Yep. Obviously, let's start with you, Connor, because normally you're actually in this series and you're not tonight. What's going on there?
So, because I was racing yesterday, I don't really want to overdo it and all of that, you know, and basically get burnt out or anything like that. Would be pretty hard to fit in good amount of practice for this to feel confident, and especially looking at these conditions would have been tough. So, well, always wanted to try my hand at commentary, see how I went with it, and so thought this was a good opportunity, basically.
Oh, there you go. No, I can certainly sympathise with not wanting to get burnt out. Yeah, certainly sim racing can take it out of you. It's surprisingly hard work, I've found. End up spending as much time doing testing and practice as what you do in real life racing as well. So, geez, I can certainly sympathise with that. Matt Dodd, I know I've seen your name somewhere else. I'm really sorry. I probably should have asked you this when we were off stream.
That's fine. I'm more of a friend of Connor's, actually. I haven't done sim racing personally, but I have. It definitely excites me. I've seen Connor do it, heard what Connor said about it, and also watched a couple of his streams. And it seems like a lot of fun. And, I've also thought about getting into it myself, so I kind of just joined Connor for this commentary experience myself.
Oh, very good. Good to hear that more people are trying to get into sim racing. AK Racing is a pretty good place to start, I think. And, well, I'm going to give myself another little plug. My own league, Go Race Promotion Sim Sports, is also a great place to get your feet wet in sim racing. Shameless plug, but I don't really mind. I'm sure AK Racing won't mind either.
I mean, got to get the word out there.
Oh, well, obviously. Well, finally we've got... Laurie McLaughlin has finally been toppled off the top of the timesheet. He's done spectacularly well, the top-ranked AM driver, and he was actually top of this session, ahead of some really big names in the AK racing world of sim racing. And he's still got a few big names behind him as well, like Ryan Houlihan. So he's done a spectacular job in the wet weather. It kind of makes me hope that the wet weather sticks around, but looking at the forecast, it doesn't look like it will stick around.
Yeah, it's sort of going to dissipate in about 30 minutes, it says. So dry qualifying is a possibility, but I think a wet qualifying would be quite interesting to see.
I think a wet race altogether would be absolutely entertaining as well. You can see Lockie Nichols actually looking for water, so maybe the track is starting to dry up already.
Bit of puddle hunting.
Yep. So I've just got a few more people joining the server. Oh, Ben Crabb has joined the server, so finally we have one of the original thick boys of GT3 in the server, Mighty Nissan. So that's great to see. So still have about 13.5 minutes left in this practice session before we head into qualifying. Bit early to say, but have you two gentlemen got some favourites out there at the moment?
Munro and O'Hara looking very strong at the top. I think Darwin could do pretty well in the Honda there. Could be Darwin and McLaughlin taking podiums in the AM class.
So let's go find Darwin. There he is. Team Up Garage Honda NSX. So yeah, I would sort of agree with that. The Honda's actually almost won the Kyle Army 9-hour race over this weekend as well, from what I've heard. But then one of the BMWs got up and won. So there you go.
Yeah.
And we'll go over to you, Matt Dodd. Give you a chance. Any particular car or driver out there that you're liking at the moment?
Well, I'm not too familiar with all the drivers, but I don't know. Might need to make my mind up a bit later. I'm not entirely sure who I'm looking at the moment, so I'll get back to you on that.
Oh, that's okay. Just take a punt. Doesn't matter. I'm taking a punt, and I I'll go with Matt Cotter. I think if I can just find him wherever he is. As soon as I find him, I'll let you know. There he is, the spinning torpedo. I think he'll go all right in the rain. He's certainly every time I've had the camera on him, he's doing that. Sliding the car everywhere, so he's certainly not afraid to have a go in the wet weather. And, well, certainly got to keep an eye on drivers like that. So, I reckon he'll play a big factor in this upcoming race.
I'd love to see a driver on the limits like that.
Whoa, there he goes. Yeah, he's certainly not afraid. He's getting onto the AstroTurf, sliding the car everywhere. It's definitely brave driving at the moment.
Could be practicing for qualifying right now, I think. Maybe we'll see a representation of what kind of pace they'll be doing if the qualifying is in the rain. 2:05 is pretty quick for these conditions, I think, so... So, Cotter a second off now. Does he go any faster on this lap? Absolutely pushing it. And he doesn't improve.
Does not. Whoa, that was a little bit sketchy. That was...
that was Nichols.
Yeah, parking a little bit close to the race.
Nichols going back to the pits.
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes, but, oh well. Peter Van Wingard, the McLaren? I think that's the only McLaren in the field as well, so... And he's practicing pit entry, which is very, very important to do, I think. Very easy to get a drive-through penalty by just carrying you only need to be half a kilometre over at that line and, well, your race is done, essentially. Let's try and find someone on track. Shane Poole in the 68 Aston. Currently sitting 15th in the session. A little bit of work to do, I think.
Yeah, well, we're seeing this split of AM drivers and then pro drivers, but we've got McLaughlin, Darwin, and Ball all mixing it with the pro drivers, which is quite interesting. We've still got Crab in last position as Ross has gone off. That's
That looks like that's coming out of the village hairpin. So
yeah, you're right.
So he's just had a bit of an understeer moment, perhaps, or
maybe lost it on the traction.
Maybe it's the cursed Porsche.
Yeah, true.
Matt Cotter's still sending it around the circuit. I'd say all the drivers have been called in for drivers briefing. We're just seeing Matt Cotter and Stephen Marsden. Marsden, I was saying this a bit earlier, I think he's a new name in the league. I haven't seen him before. But, well, he's out there
me either.
Cutting laps in the Bentley. So, you know what, it's always good to see new names pop up because you just don't know what they're going to do. And hopefully he's not afraid to have a bit of a send here and there.
So it looks like driver's briefing now. I think it's a good idea to, yeah, finalize our predictions. So if I start with myself, I think we'll see the top three for Pro right now coming home, all three of them on the podium. But I'm not sure if that's the order they're going to finish on. Of course, if it is a wet race... Oh, is it dry now? Has it stopped raining?
It is still lightly raining. In about 30 minutes, it's supposed to start easing off. That's according to the forecast, but, well, Competizione and I with the forecast don't get along very well. So, well, we'll just have to play it by ear, I think. But what a turnout as well. 23 drivers in the service so far. It looks like a bit of a Bentley love fest, the amount of Bentleys that are out there tonight.
Yeah.
So
we've got one on P1, so it's certainly not slow.
No, let's see if we can't find the man on top at the moment. There he is right there. Chris Munro, doing pretty well in, I think that's a brand new livery as well. Pretty sure he was in a green and black livery before, but he's changed it up. Going with, what is that colour?
It's like a purpley red.
Yeah, there you go. Purpley red, white, good mix. Hasn't got aqua wheels, so, you know, good start.
So, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some water.
No, not a problem, mate. Well, we've certainly got a bit of time. I guess we'll swap over to you, Matty. got a favourite GT3 car at all, or have you still on the fence with everything?
I don't know about my favourite car, but I do like the Aston Martin a bit.
The Aston Martin. Let's find an Aston for you. There we go. What do you know? It's Alex Spinozzi. We were just focusing on him a little bit earlier. I have to agree that the Aston Martin is a very, very stable car, but its biggest Achilles heel has to be that turbocharger. It just does not spool up very quickly. A little bit slow off the line. It might struggle tonight with that because of the, of course, lower mid-corner pace that you carry with the wet weather. But no, good car. Good car. I did half a season with it on Octane's Contender Series. So, yeah, very stable car.
Yeah.
Certainly another very thick car, but very low slung as well. Lexus. Don't really see a lot of these outside of Japan, actually. The RCF, but yeah, not a.
That's actually an interesting one, I think, because they're supposed to be very, very exceptional in the rain and wet conditions. So if we do see a rain-affected qualifying in a race, we can expect to see some Lexus drivers a little bit quicker and higher up the order than usual. I mean, McLaughlin's in one, and he's in fourth right now, and first in AM class, so that's very impressive, and just showing that the Lexus can be quite competitive.
It's not a bad car at all, actually. It's usually competitive. Can be you can make it competitive, but yeah. Another good car in the rain is the Nissan GTR. We only got one in the server. Oh, there we go. We're into qualifying. Let's go drive. Oh, there we go. We're in pit lane. We're inside of someone. And let's get to it. Ryan Houlihan not wasting any time, actually. Yeah, Ryan Houlihan, first man on track. So he wants to get out there and set a time nice and early. Only 15 minutes. 2-minute lap time, so haven't really got a lot of time in this session.
So it's all about how hard you want to push the car in this session particularly, because if you go off, and it's going to be exceptionally easy to go off in these tricky conditions, then you could lose quite a bit of time making your way back to pit lane, as we go on board with Houlihan here. And but if you don't push hard enough, of course, you're just not going to be as fast as you can be, and you're going to be losing time. So all about a big balance.
Well, we're going to jump on board with Ryan and just have a look at how hard he has to work with the Porsche. Porsche, one of my least favourite cars in GT3. It's very tail happy in the drive, so I can't imagine how bad it is in the rain. He's sort of having to drive it a bit like a go-kart in these conditions.
He's hardly turning.
He's just using the throttle to turn it. It's a very go-kart-esque style. Just noticed something. There's a little lever just in front of his, just in front of the right hand there. I don't know what that's for. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's looped it on the outlap. That is not what he wants, because now he's going to be down on tyres and he'll fall behind the other cars. So all of that work to get out ahead of everybody else has just gone down the drain. As he falls behind, that might be O'Hara in the BMW, I think.
We've got McLaughlin
and
just
McLaughlin.
ahead, and well, Andy O'Hara. Well, this is another driver to definitely keep an eye on, and another driver to definitely jump on board with. And also hello to Cinder Surprise in chat. I saw the emote a little bit earlier, but certainly had a bit of action there.
So not ideal for Houlihan, as he might have to actually come back into the pits as well now, just for a new set of tyres, which he should have with the 10 sets allowed on a weekend for ACC here. But yeah, far from ideal.
It looks like he's still going according to the track map, so he's obviously trying to get a banker in. So. Oh, okay, here we go. So Roudus ID, bonus points to the first commentator to slot in a right out sideways. So keep an eye out for, well, if that's the case, we'll have to just be on board with any Porsche, because they're going to be right out sideways everywhere.
And look at coming onto the back straight now. Look how much traffic there is for everybody starting their laps. That's a lot of traffic.
Still got cars in the pit lane as well, so yeah.
Oh, there's a big gap between O'Hara and whoever's in front of him right now. That's where I'd want to be. But everyone seems to be right up behind them as they all seem to just fly out to try and get out as early as possible. But it's probably backfired. Oh, we've got a car off of turn 1.
That's number 36, which would be Ben Newman, or Brad Newman. So that's 1 lap gone for him. He's going to be hard pressed to try and get around and get another banker lap in.
Yeah, they're all really feeling for the conditions too much, and since it's qualifying, they're not really certain how hard they can push, but if they go too easy, they're not going to set a competitive enough lap time, so they really got to work really hard and fast to adapt and learn the conditions out here to set the best lap.
Yeah, well, so much for the rain easing. Oh, O'Hara looking for water. So that's not a good sign. Those tyres are obviously still cooking. So I think the track conditions are just in that awkward stage where it's just not quite wet enough, but too wet for the slicks.
Yeah, that or maybe he's just got the pressures wrong and trying to lower them a little bit. But yeah, you're right. I think it would be temperature as he does a 206.0, which is a bit off of the time that he did in practice. So probably some more time in it, but with these tricky conditions that are ever changing, you never know. McLaughlin goes 8/10 off, Thornton 1.7 off, Darwin, Ross, Crab all set times, but none of them can come close to O'Hara at the moment.
As they're all crossing the line now, I think a lot of people have just exceeded track limits because they're not popping up on the tower on the left-hand side. Got a car off somewhere. I think they've just teleported back to the pits. So next car across the line. I think that was Jono Ball up to 3rd. So let's see if we can't find our 3rd place driver, Jono Ball. There he is. Oh, that was James Van der Ham. He's going back to the pit lane, I'd say. So Jono Ball up to 3rd. He's just a little bit off, and well, he's just gone.
Oh, he's looped it.
As he slams it into the wall, so that will be back to the pit lane for Jono.
And you'll see a lot of yellows around turn 1 as drivers hit escape and go back to the pit lane, just to, instead of taking the in lap, just to get a free pass back to the pit lane to start their next stint.
Yeah, I can imagine that some of the real life race car drivers would be so happy about being able to do that.
Yeah.
So, oh, someone just jumped up. I think that was Alex Spinozzi up into 7th, 1.7 seconds off the pace, but, well, tight margin between himself and David Thornton. So, keep an eye on Shane Poole, though.
And look at the traffic into Village Hairpin. That's just crazy.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be Chris Munro right now.
Yeah, Chris Munro, one of the pro drivers, not really wanting to get held up by whoever's in front of him because he is a bet for pole and he is a bet for the race win, but if he can't set a quali lap due to traffic, then that could make the race very tough for him.
He's got Kelvin right in front of him. Kelvin's not a slouch of a driver. Certainly not on the same level as Chris Munro. As you see, Munro gets good drive off the final corner. This should be a competitive time for him, and he goes to 2nd.
And Cezanne has gone to 3rd with 7/10 off the pace. So that's your top 3 in pro. We're not seeing Cotter quite up there, so Cezanne has outdone Cotter in these tricky conditions.
Let's see if we can't find...
and Darwin's fallen back a bit from the practice pace, so everybody's a bit out of order, but you know, it is practice that we're basing this off of, and anything can happen in practice. Not everybody's going to show their true pace.
Well, definitely, I think the sandbags have well and truly come off some of these cars. Matt Cotter, less than a second off of O'Hara's pace, and O'Hara is still hunting for water just behind Cotter, so that's very interesting. So, well, I mean, with qualifying, you can afford, I guess, to start with higher pressures, but so you might be using the tyres for a longer stint than 2 or 3 laps. Oh, big slide there for Cotter. I want to jump on board with Matt Cotter and see what sort of steering inputs he's having to use in the Aston. Nothing out of the ordinary. It just seems to be in the faster corners that he's having that stability issue, which I guess should come as no surprise. Driving like a go-kart, he's backing it into second last corner. I always forget the track corner names. Nice tidy exit. Can't quite see his delta. I think that might have been an outlap though. That definitely was an outlap.
So now an actual lap, and we'll see. Ooh.
We had a car off the track.
Houlihan's gone up to third. I didn't see that.
Let's rejoin with Matt Cotter. Sorry for scaring guys there. I just saw a car off the track at, I think it was the club hairpin. Oh, jeez, that thing is drifting everywhere. So Cotter hasn't quite nailed the setup yet on this Aston.
Well, it would be very tricky because I can imagine they might be looking to get a setup that works for both qualifying and the race, or they've just not. Oh, sorry, that works for dry and the rain, and they've just not expected rain, and so their setup is a bit of both rather than a full rain setup or a full dry setup. So probably not running the ideal setups for most of these drivers, but you never know.
Still driving it on the edge there. It certainly looked a little bit more controlled through the fast right and left before the village hairpins. Tries to get the drive out of the final hairpin. Certainly very crucial in the Aston to try and keep the mid-corner pace up just because of that turbo lag. And in fact, Cotter now looking for water offline. Final corner for Matt Cotter. Let's see what time he can set. And it is a 2:05.9 straight to the top.
Pole.
What did I say? Drivers who aren't afraid to send it in the wet, they generally go pretty well.
Oh, and it seems O'Hara has made a better time.
Oh, he's gone straight to the
O'Hara's
top.
come back in, and that's a huge lap time advantage. I did say that O'Hara had gone slower in the qualifying session and in practice, and thought maybe that wasn't the best lap for O'Hara, and that he has and McLaughlin as well. So maybe track conditions are improving, or maybe they're just finding more confidence and learning the limit, and able to set quicker lap times now. But certainly some drivers going faster, and we should have a good battle for pole here. Do you think that Laurie McLaughlin could be an outside bet for pole position overall here? He's in the Lexus, very, very quick car in the rain, so he's definitely got the best car out here for it. You never know.
It's gonna be a tough. I think it's gonna be a tough ask for Laurie to topple Andy O'Hara.
It is 5/10 gap.
Yeah, it's doable. It is doable, but certainly trying to topple Andy O'Hara is a very tough ask for anyone. Begging pardon. But we could see a giant killing effort tonight. Never know. As we start getting into the final 2.5 minutes of qualifying. So, geez, this qualifying session's really been hectic, and that's what I like to see.
And it's gonna get even more now that we're in the final 2 minutes. I think in about 10 seconds. Oh, we've got a yellow. Oh, that's somebody off.
That would be
right as McLaughlin passes them. I think around about now, if you've not just started a lap, you're not going to have one more left. So McLaughlin. Oh, sorry. Actually, no, that's wrong.
well, one person who hasn't set a lap time is this guy here, Lockie McNichols.
That's a qualifying ban.
Oh, there you go. Well, he's going to have a very, very tough race tonight, I think. But
He's got
actually,
a ban and ballast.
oh, jeez, that's harsh. But well,
Yeah.
break the rules, get the pens. But well, Lockie Nichols, his driver is not afraid to send it, and off goes Houlihan.
Sending it a bit too much as we speak of sending it.
Oh, that was just a Porsche curse right there.
And Lachlan in the chat right now, flashing his lights.
That's
to give him another chance.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. There we go.
Hey.
Good to see. Okay, he's going to show off. He's going to bin it a couple of times in pit lane.
Show off, hit the wall.
Get back in that menu. Get back in that menu.
Go back to the pits, you man. Back to the naughty corner.
Yeah, Tim Davies, another one of the Lexus. He's not having a great time at the moment, but I think the driver behind him, no, that wasn't what I thought it was. Ben Newman really struggling, 7 seconds off the pace. Oh, hang on. See a bit of a slide there from Kelvin Wright. See if we can't find someone who's on a flyer.
They should all be 35 seconds to go. No, unless they're like coming around the final corners, like into Brooklands right now, they should all be on flyers. Otherwise, they're not going to make it.
Well, we have car 150, which is Terry Darwin, who's about to start a lap. I'm not sure if he's going to... who was that?
Oh,
that was Chris Munro. So Munro's binned it. I think he's trying to get
time.
I think he's trying to shortcut as much of the track as possible to get a lap.
There's no time. There's no time.
We'll see what he does. He's not going to make it. But Terry Darwin should make it at the nick of time. There we go. So Terry Darwin will be the last flying lap of this session.
That's good timing.
And he's following the Nissan GTR of... well, he was following the Nissan GTR of Ben Crabb. I think we've lost Ben Crabb, have we? No, Ben Crabb.
Oh, somebody's gone off in the chicane.
Yes, they certainly have, and they're already back to pits.
Lots of people going off. Lots of people going off.
You know what I missed? Ben Crabb has slid his Nissan into the top 5.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, so... but normally I'm like eagle-eyed for those Nissans. Ben Crabb. Well, the Nissan, also another car that is strong in the wet. It certainly gets off the corners really well. Chris Munro, it looks as though he will be joining the front row with Andy O'Hara. He's put his Bentley onto second. Knocked Laurie McLaughlin off the front row, unfortunately.
So we've got J-Ball coming to the line now.
Oh, that was close to track limits.
J-Ball not going to improve, it looks like.
Currently following Terry Darwin at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't see a delta time for him on his dash.
Not sure of the Honda.
Oh, Shane Poole ahead, just gets it wrong. Don't think he's impeded Terry at all.
So Ada Nayake comes to the line, that's P14. As somebody else has come up, Spinozzi, P5, so that knocks your friend Crab out of down to P6.
Newman just put his Bentley onto 16th, so a few good improvements. Oh, Terry Darwin, big slide, catches it.
And Houlihan to the line, P7 doesn't improve. So now we're up with Terry Darwin, and they should be the last person, but I see somebody behind them on the track map. Is that the 67 car?
68, Terry Darwin goes up to 10th. The 68 car was not on a flying lap. So let's head back to the garage and we'll have a quick look at the final standings for qualifying.
So Matt?
Yeah, so first place we've got O'Hara. Pretty good job by them. Yeah, so next on to Munro, then to McLaughlin, with Cotto behind him, Spinozzi, Crab, Houlihan, Sanasa.
Close.
Oh,
Susanna. Susanna. We'll give you...
Sorry.
Well, no, that's okay. That's his new nickname on the Discord.
Oh. Yeah, with Marsden behind him, with Darwin, Wall, Wright, Thornton.
Here we go. Try this
I
one.
am going to butcher that, absolutely. Atinya.
That's pretty good. That's close
Yeah,
enough, I think.
that's good.
Okay, with Wright, Newman, Van Wingard, Poole, Vanderhum, Davies, with Ross behind him, Ferguson, and Nicholas.
Yep. The Humminator. We got to remember Vanderhum.
Nichols
Yep.
didn't set a lap.
Yep. And Vanderhum. Remember his new name is the Humminator on this channel.
30 seconds.
Humminator.
The Humminator. Yep. That was coined.
I like it.
Who coined that one? I want to say it was Alex Spinozzi. He coined that one. So.
20 seconds.
All right. Well, let's get to the front. Andy O'Hara, as ever, on pole position in that BMW. He is very much unstoppable with that thing.
And I'd just like to point out McLaughlin's done an amazing effort. So the next car, for their class, 7 spots down behind. I think that's a promotion to pro for next season. P3 in the AM class in the Lexus. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant effort by them.
Yep. Was going to actually give him a shout out. So well done to Laurie McLaughlin. As Samuel, Samuel Esquialaba. Thank you for the follow on the channel, mate. Much appreciated. Struggled to get that one right. I think I failed miserably too.
And I'd like to avert your eyes. Look at 30 minutes. If you can see the schedule, the rain is going to be increasing in 30 minutes time. We've got a 1-hour race. 1 mandatory pit stop. That's between the 40 and 20 minute mark, I believe. And right around then, it's going to pick up on rain. Right around the middle of the race. So could make for some very interesting racing.
Well, I'm going to take us to the midfield at some point. See what they're...
Sorry, I can't help but notice that Houlihan has done a really good job with the Porsche, considering the other 2 Porsches are at the bottom end of the grid. So I feel like he's done a good job maintaining that rear end, especially during qualifying.
Yeah, for sure. Porsche, it's a very interesting car. You see, ooh, that's a bit quick in their ball, don't you think? It's a very interesting car with the drivers who drive it, as you often see a couple who can handle it up the front, and then some people who get caught out by its very, very tricky nature down near the back of the field. So it'll be very interesting, and hope that they can all keep it together on track for an hour's race in the rain. But you got to remember, with the rear weight, basically a lot of the weight towards the rear of the car, it's actually very easy to get the power down on the exit of corners, so they should actually do pretty alright in this race. Just gotta watch out for the twitchiness. Is Munro went wide a bit there. Oh, they're going double file, right, I see.
Are you sure you've raced this before? Also, shout out to OCE. This is a great name. Gladiator. Thank you for the follow. I think I'm Twitch banned now. At least demonetized on YouTube. Oh well. Well, let's get some predictions from you two gentlemen. Who are you liking? Also in chat, don't feel afraid to put in your predictions. Who are we liking, guys?
I wanna put it out there right now. McLaughlin overall podium.
Yep. I think I'll agree with that.
Yeah, same.
I would love to see that for an M driver to get the podium overall. That would be absolutely brilliant.
We're going to go into drone cam mode and try and follow the field as we head into the first corner. Try and follow about midfield for the start.
Really tight up the front there.
Yeah, Munro's trying to just maybe play a few little head games with O'Hara, but unfortunately head games recognition is not part of O'Hara's programming.
Software, yeah.
Yeah. We're getting set for a start. And we are way and racing for an hours of racing. We've got 3 wide to turn 1. Oh, have we made it through. Looks like the mid-pack is still...
Frizzy clean.
Well, we're heading up to Maggots though, and we're still 3 wide in places. Look, Lockie Nichols has already made up a few positions.
Yeah, that's a
not
good
wasting
start.
time.
Not hanging around. 3rd in the AM Championship at the moment, he is.
And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but we've gotten through Maggots without a single crash in the wet. So well done to all
So it looks like
guys.
Kotz has taken 3rd, and McLaughlin's under. No, he's not.
He's
Almost.
oh, he's run wide.
Oh, he's run wide.
He's looking for the ultimate
no.
go-kart line.
Oh, he's fallen down huge there.
Oh, he's getting squeezed, but he's getting bullied pretty hard at the moment in these early few stages. He just looks like as if he's
Down
just
to
trying
8.
to... He might be playing this really smart by trying to stay out of trouble in the first lap. I mean, of course, we have 60 minutes of racing to go. No point taking yourself out in the first few corners. As look at this gaggle of cars. We've got Anthony Cesano, who's under attack from Stefan Marsden, who just puts it up the inside.
Good overtake.
He's also under attack from Terry Darwin, who goes right around the outside. In fact, Terry Darwin looking to take Marsden as well into the village hairpin. He does not. Oh, with 3 wide here.
Look at the
right in Susanna and Ball, 3 wide into the village hairpins. Oh, bit of contact
there's a touch. They managed to keep it on the track, keep it together, no spins.
Amazing stuff. Oh, hang on, I've gone the wrong way with the buttons. Oh, we got 1 car off. That's David Thornton, really wide.
Thornton is going to be able to rejoin. He can.
Easy.
That's risky.
Oh, who's
Nichols?
That? Very wide. He's looking for water. He's up to 20th already. So
it's not bad.
Oh, geez, sliding the Lambo in. Was expecting a little bit more progress from Lockie Nichols in the first lap, but up to 20th. That's not bad. He's got a long way to go and a lot of cars to get through if he wants to get to the front of AM.
So the order after the first lap, we have O'Hara, followed by Munro and Cotton, who's moved up into 3rd. Spinozzi, Crab, Houlihan, and then McLaughlin, who's fallen from 3rd place to 7th, which is really not good for my overall podium prediction, as now Darwin's going to move up right behind, not right behind, but yeah, there's 2 AMs, P7, P8.
He'll be... So
we could see some racing for the AM win here.
We'll jump on board with Terry Darwin as he's trying to close the gap between himself and Laurie McLaughlin. We see just how gentle he's being with the car.
So he entered the corner in 4th, and by the exit, he was in 2nd. Just really trying to find the group here. Looks like the conditions... Oh, no!
He's gone. He's going to try and 360 it and keep going.
Don't need it all. That looks so close. But it's a big track, so that's not good for Darwin at all. Yeah, as I was saying, drivers, it looks like it's different conditions between qualifying and the race noticeably, and it is hotter. I can tell that. Oh,
Dave Ross,
that is not the line,
and
he's gonna loop it.
No, he keeps it together.
Wow, that's impressive. Lost 1 position, but a lot better than holding on. Better than losing it. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like he's carrying a bit of scarring already in that 48 Porsche.
Yeah, not ideal.
Well, let's head back to the front. Andy O'Hara still leads ahead of Chris Munro.
Look at the gap between Munro and Kotz at P2 to P3. Oh, no, is that P2 to P3 or is that P3 to P4 that's got the gap?
Oh, wow. Cotter has dropped down to the back of that little battle pack for 3rd place, sorry.
Must have had a spin or something.
I would imagine he has. He's certainly been driving it hard in the practice sessions and, well, not much margin for error in the rain.
Yeah.
But, Crab sliding it around Maggots. He's still chasing Alex Spinozzi.
And look at this, we could have a 5-way battle here. For, that would be P3.
Oh, we got a yellow.
There's a yellow.
Out. It's cleared just very quickly.
Is that Marston's fallen down? Look at Marston.
I have
Where did Marston start?
we have yellows in maggots, and that is David Ross and Kelvin Wright. David
And
Ross
Ross doing some donuts.
trying to get it back up and running. We'll have to try and flick on the replay. That is a lot of damage on the back of Kelvin Wright's Bentley. Oh, that is.
Oh, that is
into
a
the
lot of
fence.
damage.
That is a
That
lot of
could be
damage.
suspension as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if that brings them out of the race entirely. That's definitely going to be going back to pits and repairing that one.
Rear wing doesn't look too clever, so we're going to jump back in time and have a quick look at some replays. So that was car 27, I believe. Let's see if we... That is not the button I wanted. Where is he? 27. All right, here we go. He's lost it on his own. Does he get collected?
It snapped like the Porsche.
Oh, he's collected like Lockie Nichols.
Oh, he's hit with Nichols.
Oh, does he get collect? Oh, that's where the damage has come from.
Oh dear.
So he was just in the wrong place. Hey, there was nothing he could have done to avoid that. Dave Ross, the same for him.
Just passengers.
Yep, not much you can do for that. And Kelvin Wright's actually returned to the pit lane, so we're going to try and find Dave Ross. We'll see how much damage is on the 48 Porsche.
That does not look like a happy Porsche.
No. Oh, geez, the front bar's flopping around everywhere, bonnet's flopping around.
Oh!
Unsurprisingly, he is having understeer issues. The floor tray's cracked as well. There is nothing happy about that Porsche.
Yeah, that'll be a huge time spent in the pits for both Wright and Ross. Unsure if Wright will even be, or both of them will. Ooh, pulls off.
Yep.
Just a spin, it looks like. I can't see any. No, he's got front end damage.
It might have been from an earlier incident.
Just,
I think
it's a little bit scuffed, so
yeah.
Probably nothing too bad. Maybe a light bump with somebody, small punt.
Hara, meanwhile, up front, no problems for him. He's just starting to stretch away a little bit in the early stages
Hara
of this
and
race.
Munro.
Well,
They've got a gap to Spinozzi in third.
And they're starting to, although Ahara's just starting to pull away from Munro, but Ahara's still looking for water.
Yeah, and a bit of that could be trying to break the slipstream, but I imagine that the speed's done that straight in the rain. It's not going to be too much of an effect, the slipstream, and also, let's believe it. Yeah, we've got a yellow. That's the 912, that's Houlihan. What's happened, Houlihan? Oh, there's been a crash. That's Crab's crashed with Houlihan or something.
I don't think so. They
they
might have been. Yeah, it might have been. We'll have to find a replay of this.
So that was 912 for Houlihan.
Yep. There he is. Let's see what's happened. He's on the back of Ben Crab. I think Crab's lost it on his own, and Houlihan's had nowhere to go. Yep.
Yep. Oh no, they have hit.
Yep.
And that's just awfully unlucky for Houlihan there.
Yep. There's nothing he could have done to avoid that, and unfortunately Ben Crab, he couldn't. Oh, and does he get collected? He's in
That's
a very
just the
awkward
definition
spot.
of an accident, yeah.
Oh, he's alright. He's got it going again. But, geez. Houlihan's not going to be having fun at the moment, because I'd say that's a bit of damage on the front of the car.
It didn't look, in all honesty, while it was very fast, it didn't look like too hard of a hit. So Houlihan might get away with this, because knowing ACC, you can get away with quite a bit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Houlihan doesn't lose too much pace and doesn't even have to repair in the pit stops, or especially dive into the pits now to repair. But I think we've seen Wright has retired from the race.
He'll get another lap, another race, sorry, a little bit later on to try again.
Yeah.
We're going to take a look at this.
Too wide.
Have a look at this. This is what you want to be in the centre of, isn't it? Seeing just ahead, Ben Crab trying to make up for lost time after that spin.
And Crab with the damage, of course. Probably not too bad like with Ryan, but we don't know for sure. Newman, is that Newman behind them? No, that would be Van Wingard.
Yep.
That would be, yeah, they'd certainly be wanting to get past them and start to leave this train, which is starting. Oh, and Nichols looking for water. I thought he'd almost spun there.
Someone got a dog there.
That would be me.
Dog's excited.
Yeah, well, we're at the other side of the house. It's impressive that my mic's picking it up.
Oh, here we go. The Humminator. Oh, that's Wingard
Oh,
around.
Wingard's around.
Humminator trying to go around the outside of Darwin. But, not quite working for him. He's carrying some battle scars as well. Oh, jeez. Lockie Nichols has done well. He's up to 15th now, and if I'm not mistaken, 6th in class.
Yeah, and with the ballast, of course. That's quite impressive.
Oh, that was Marsden around into the fence. I just saw the back of that. He grabbed the AstroTurf, and well, now he's going to have to try and do a quick little flick spin.
And somebody's offered Beckett's.
It would be Vanderham, it looks.
Well, further down.
Hum was very wide there. He almost needed his pass to get back onto the circuit. Certainly don't want to do that too often because track limits bite you pretty hard in ACC.
So, actually, McLaughlin's fallen down to the last step of the podium for the AM podium, which is interesting from starting third and way ahead of all the other drivers. So McLaughlin's clearly not had a good start to the race. 48 minutes to go, anything can happen though.
I wonder if he's actually done any practice with high fuel load.
Yeah, well, he was very fast in the practice session, so if he's running low fuel there, that would explain it.
Just have to jump over to Matt. Is any battle out there that you're keeping an eye on?
Seems like the front runners at the grid, they seem to be holding their positions quite stably. But no, I haven't really been keeping my eye on any battle that's been going on. Just been watching the whole grid almost.
Well, Matt Cotter's actually managed to do a bit of an impressive fight back. He's on the back of his teammate, Alex Spinozzi. Let's jump on board with Cotter. You would think that a torpedo would be quite at home in these wet conditions.
Yeah.
I just realised that joke was there, just waiting to be used. Oh,
Lots of curb as the 156 goes round, I think. Can't see the numbers on the map too well.
That's okay. I'll try and keep an eye on it. Cotter looking for the move, coming up to the end of the hangar straight.
Are we going to see some team orders maybe?
Yep. I've just seen the indicator flashing for Spinozzi. He was letting his teammate through. So, Torpedo will cut a bit of a path there for his teammate, and hopefully will drag him onto the back of Chris Munro, but 6 seconds to close the gap to Munro. That's a big ask.
Yeah, but we have seen Cotter in the past. He's a very quick driver, so it's not out of the question for sure. He could come and challenge Munro and even O'Hara at the end of this race for sure. I think strategy could be a big part of it, as we see not too far away that the rain's going to pick up, but they'll all be on wet tyres already anyway, so I don't know how that's going to play out. They might pit early and get the extra grip as soon as it starts to come down heavier, or they might hold out a bit longer and not sure which is faster, to be honest.
Laurie McLaughlin seems to think that an early pit stop is the way to go. He's just come in and out of the pit lane, so...
well, the pit window's not open yet, though.
Yeah, it's a very interesting call. He might have picked up some damage, perhaps.
Yeah, that is a possibility. I think that is what has happened, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Well, how's this for a battle pack? We've got Malith Ataniak just leading the way ahead of Wright and Thornton. So we're going to jump on board with Thornton as he follows these two. Just behind them, actually, we got an even closer battle. We got Ben Crabb leading the ahead.
Oh,
Oh, here we go. Newman up the inside. This is going to be a good move if he can get it done. But he's going to be on the wrong side of the track for the next corner, and Ferguson.
switchback move maybe.
And Ferguson runs a little bit wide, but he gets the drive out of the corner with the Porsche.
So some good racing in these conditions, but I think drivers are being very cautious, knowing that there's 40 minutes left in the race and that they are not really wanting the...
Whoa!
Oh!
Newman off the track. Oh, we're lucky that sand trap is so good.
Oh my goodness, he's barely saved that, yeah.
I will take a replay of that, but I'm going to be a betting man. Oh, what was that? That looked like the other Lexus of Davies off the track. I'm going to be a betting man and say that Newman grabbed the curb on the entry to the first corner. Let's take a replay and see if I'm correct. He's car 36. Let's see. There he is. So, am I... okay, why is it a different livery?
I noticed that as well.
That's it. Just a set of course of things. So, am I going to be right? Yes, I am.
Oh.
He's done very well to keep that car out of the concrete, I have to say.
Yeah, without that gravel, that would have been a very, very nasty incident. And yeah, we can see a different livery. Well, if it makes it any better, I've always seen them out on track with this livery that we're currently seeing, so I'm not sure why the replay is any different.
Let's jump back up to that little battle between Thornton, Wright and Taniak. Taniak, no, sorry, John O'Ball actually leading the way for Am. He's cleared off from Maleth and Wright. So,
drivers looking for puddles in the background.
Yeah, I was just about to point out that Nissan is coming. He's closing the gap ever so slightly. So that doesn't surprise me. The Nissan is pretty strong in the wet as well. Already looking for a bit of a move. He's just moving around in the mirror for Wright, hoping to get a much easier pass than what he actually needs to do. Taniak runs a little bit deep into maggots. Oh, Thornton thought about the dive bomb into the last right-hander, but he's going to go...
Wright's got a bad exit.
He's got a great exit. Yeah, sorry, Thornton's got a great drive out of the final corner, but that Aston's going to be quick in a straight line. Here we go, he's going to switch back, go for the dive bomb. No... But Wright goes in deep. He's somehow managed to pull that Aston up. And at the same time, Taniak's looking pretty vulnerable.
Looks like, yeah.
Here we go, into club. How's Thornton play this?
Thornton's going to get both of them. Oh, well, no. Wright's going to get both of them.
So, Wright and Thornton both released from behind Taniak. So Taniak just starting to go backwards now. But this battle will continue between Thornton and Wright. Have to see if Wright can...
Somebody else is in the pits. That's the 27, I think.
Yeah, that's still Kelvin Wright. He hasn't moved.
Ah, I see.
He's... Yeah, after all that damage to the car. I mean, for me personally, I would rather go out and do some testing, try and work out a setup.
Yeah. It's
for the
not
next
a bad
race.
call.
Yeah.
Then again, with like blue flags and stuff, would you really get that much running? I'm not so sure.
Something is better than nothing, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Thornton's got a good exit again. We're seeing a pattern there. As but Wright's just got that top speed, it seems. Turn 1, especially in the rain, is not really a corner you'd want to go for it, but you never know. We'll see how Thornton is able to close or do the opposite through maggots and beckets, especially with the dirty air.
Thornton being very sensible. He's just giving himself a bit of a gap. 168 off the track. That's Lockie Nichols. So I've applied the commentator's curse to him.
Oh, yeah.
He's dropped down, unfortunately.
We've had an incident in the chicane as well. So Cesena and looks like a back marker's gone off. I'm not too sure though. It's all cleared now.
I'm still saying, oh, yep, still got a car off the track. That is Tim Davies through Maggots. So Maggots claims another one. I have to say, the Lexus sounds really nice.
So I'd like to take note to how O'Hara's pulled a 6-second gap to Munro, but Cotter's actually caught up towards Munro. The gap's just 1.5 seconds now. So O'Hara streaking away with the lead right here, and Munro could be falling into Cotter's clutches at any moment. I wonder if that's a mistake, maybe, that Cotter's made a small mistake and just lost some time to... oh, sorry, Munro's made a small mistake and lost some time to Cotter.
It's just absolutely... He's engaged the rhythm programming, I see, and just ticking away the laps. But, well, mark of a great driver is being able to hit those same marks lap after lap after lap. And, well, O'Hara's certainly probably one of the best in AK, even in, well, multiple leagues at doing that.
Yeah, he's a bit out of this world. So 2 minutes now, 2.5 minutes until the actual pit window comes open, and what that means is that drivers will come in. There's a mandatory pit stop. Oh.
We have one car off the track. That is Tim Wright, unfortunately, in the 67 Aston. I'd say he's lost that by himself. So again, we've got to start keeping account of how many people bin it in Maggots.
I think that's 4 now.
And I think, oh, Steven Marsden, he's looks like he's binned it going into pit lane. What's going on with him? He's moving around in the car. So
I'm not sure what's happening now.
the car's still running, so maybe I should just be glad that oh, there we go. So he's moving now. I wonder if he's had a hardware failure, perhaps. Something's going on with the number 2 Bentley, that's for sure.
Yeah, looks like it could be hardware, and that's very unfortunate if it is.
So now David Thornton has been released from behind right. That's Tim Wright, I should say. See what he can do about catching John O'Ball. We've got another car off the track coming down the back straight. That's Ben Newman. He's dropped it. I'm going to bet he's grabbed the AstroTurf. What do you guys think?
Yep, I'm thinking the same.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing there.
Oh, and Darwin grabs it. No, that's not Darwin, that's Davies grabs it in the background, and now we've got Nichols all over the back of them. So Nichols taking a look at the inside. He's going to go in there and actually try and... No, he's looped it!
He's
Nichols
gone.
goes round.
That's
not how you overtake.
No, that's certainly not advisable. The Lambo, the only few laps I've done with the Lambo, and that's Van Wingard who's looped it. The few laps I did,
and he's just
Nichols
tried to go
for
into the
pit
pits,
lane.
an early pit stop, and just completely cut across Van Wingard, and
there we go. Well, he's timed it well.
Well, that's going to be some very far from ideal damage for Nichols.
Yep.
Obviously the pit windows just open. Nichols was 5 seconds away as Ross spins it as well. So everyone's binning it out of the final corner. It's Brooklyn's. So I'm not sure what's happening there. But as I was saying before, the pit window opens, and in this race, there's a mandatory pit stop for tires. You cannot refuel, but you do have to take tires. So it looks like I'd hope so, that everyone's going onto the wets as we see Monroe driving into the pit lane there to make their stop. We get it for 10 minutes, from 35 minutes to 25 minutes to go, so the middle of the race. And you have to pit, and it's all about playing where in those 10 minutes that you are going to make your pit stop. So Nichols has gone, all right, I think it's better off if I pit early. My tires are probably not doing too well, and I might want to get away from the traffic. So he's just tried to come in and basically just not seen Van Wingard, who he hit with, was already there towards the pit entry, or maybe Van Wingard was pitting, I'm not too sure, and just drove over them. So we've seen Munro, Spinozzi, Bull, Atanayake, Thornton, Nichols, and of course Marsden recently with whatever issue they've been having in the pits already. And you'll see the little 1 next to everybody's, next to their number, or a green symbol. The green symbol means they've pit and done their tire change, and that they're good to go to the end, and the 1 means that they still have to pit and change their tires.
I think I see a Humminator off the track at turn 1.
And that's twice now.
Yep. So Van der Hum's struggling a little bit with the conditions. I mean, I think he's not the only one who's struggling, let's be honest. A lot of people are having a nightmare out there.
Especially through this corner he's going through now.
Yep. Goldie Bros in chat, I'm right here, mate. I haven't gone anywhere. And also shout out to Crude driving for the follow. That was 2 minutes ago. Sorry, I didn't see that. Focusing on the action, trying to keep an eye on what's going on. The pit stops are just cycling through, and that's going to probably blow the racing wide open for now. We'll have to wait until the rest of the pit stops cycle through before we can actually probably get some idea of who's where. O'Hara still circulating those, just going through maggots.
16-second gap between O'Hara and Kotzer, that's huge.
We actually have a little battle just up ahead. No, Lockie Nichols out by himself, unfortunately. He's got brand new tyres on. Have to wait and see where he pops out after all the pit stops.
He's repaired the car as well, Nichols, so taking some extra time in the pit stops to make sure this car's working. And that's not a bad call. When you've had damage so early, you don't get to feel like, sorry, not so early, but like so close to the time when you're pitting, you don't get to feel how bad it is, so you don't get to judge whether it's worth repairing or not. So it's a safe call to repair it.
Certainly,
must have had some sizable damage though.
Certainly, in my own racing, I've often just gone, I'm not going to repair the damage because the car's actually not too bad. It saves you a little bit of time, but sometimes it can backfire.
Yeah. Well, let's say that your repairs at 10 seconds. Are you going to lose 10 seconds by not repairing it? Now, maybe your pace is good enough, but if the car's a lot less stable, you might spin it, and you don't want to risk spinning it because then you'll lose way more than 10 seconds. And if your pace is, but if your pace and you're confident, and you've got the pace that you're not going to lose those 10 seconds by not repairing it, then I wouldn't repair it.
Unfortunately, no real close battles on track at the moment, although just see, as I say that, going through Village Hairpin, we've got Ben Newman and Tim Davies nose to tail. These two have both completed their mandatory pit stop, so this is a straight up fight between these two. Let's see if we can't look out the back of the Lexus. Back at Newman, closes right up. Not quite close enough to make the move yet, although he was trying
Cotter and Cesar in the pits.
Yep. And Houlihan in
As
the
a
pits as
Houlihan.
well.
So we've got Van der Ham and O'Hara, who are the last people to be staying out right now. So it'll be interesting to see when they dive into the pits.
Well, for O'Hara, he's definitely got the advantage. He had more than 6 seconds in as a gap over Chris Munro. So it's definitely to his advantage to run as late as possible.
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see like what the gap is when he comes out of the pits again. Because if it was 6 seconds before, I reckon it'll have changed by the time he... And Cotter's got to stop and go 30 seconds. That's speeding in the pit lane.
Ah. Torpedo has done it again.
Oh, no. And that's just ruined his race then completely. That means you're taking an extra pit stop.
And then stopping for third. Yeah, well, it is. It's an extra pit stop.
Just you're not going to get any of the advantages of a pit stop from this pit stop that he has to do. So no new tyres or anything like that. You can't refuel in this series in the first place. So very, very unfortunate. But it could be an interesting drive from him to see where he can finish despite this.
Riding on board with Ben Crabb as he's chasing down Malith Ataniak. This will be for 9th position as soon as all the pit stops cycle through. So this is going to be a bit of a titanic battle, actually. The two best cars in the rain, nose to tail.
And look how much Crab gains through Maggots and even through Beckett's as Atanayake runs a bit wide, and Van der Ham's got a drive through. I wonder what that's for.
That is very interesting. Maybe for contact.
Track limits.
Track limits, yep.
Yeah, it would have to be, and it looks like they might be serving it now.
No, he just came out of pit lane, so he must have... That's weird. I don't know how he's managed to get a drive-through for track limits coming out of pit lane. Ooh, Crab!
Just too deep.
That was a brown pants moment.
And all of the advantage from Crab's pace gaining on Atanayake with that one mistake, that's all going to be going down the drain now.
Yep. He might become a little bit vulnerable to Ferguson just behind as Cotter now takes his drive-through penalty. He is going to be absolutely livid about it. But, well, hopefully not too livid, and he hasn't sped through pit lane again. Certainly seen that happen.
Yeah, well, I know Cotter, and I think he'd be pretty calm behind the wheel in all honesty, able to get his head down and just carry on and see what he can make of this race now that he's got that huge penalty.
Trying to find where our race leader, Andy O'Hara, is. He's just coming through the final corner now. I imagine he will be in pit lane this lap.
He has to be, I think.
Yep, he's going in
Yeah.
right now.
So we'll watch Monroe now, and we'll watch the gap just to see, has O'Hara gained from going so long, or has Monroe gained from pitting early and undercutting? Even has Monroe taken the lead from this?
Well,
There,
that is
so-
not him. That he is right there, going through Village Hairpin.
And I think
don't
that's
think
a
he's gonna
pretty
do
big gap.
I think maybe Monroe got caught up in some traffic, perhaps, and well, I would have to say that this has been a great strategy call from Andy O'Hara once again. He should be starting to get mobile. Right. Well, maybe. This is a very long stop, actually. And there he goes. He's going to be out.
I think that's about normal.
Oh, jeez.
And I think that would be Monroe coming through Brooklyn's right now. So the gap has increased by the looks of things.
Not
And
surprising.
Monroe's, O'Hara's able to overcut Monroe there.
Yep, not surprising. He timed that to perfection as well, O'Hara.
And another thing is that O'Hara is going to have much fresher tyres towards the end. So even if Munro does manage to catch up, O'Hara on the fresh set should have a good pace advantage as well.
And while we focused on this, Ben Crabber's managed to finally get around to Taniak, and he's just starting to open up a bit of a gap now. But we've also got, where are we? Just trying to find them. Here we are. John O'Ball, he's got David Thornton just behind him. Another one of the Bentleys, one of the million Bentleys that are in this field at the moment. I don't know what it is with AK and the Bentleys, but they're everywhere. Almost like the Astons, actually.
Looks like there's 8 of them in this field, which of a grid of 23 cars, that's about a third.
Sliding it through the first corner. Have Thornton all over the back of him going into Maggots, but no one is really that brave to try and put a move on anyone through Maggots. Oh, except me. I would try it. I'll try it.
So Ball's actually come out really well here, I've just noticed. So Ball was down maybe P8, P9 before the pit stops, and must have had some sort of a really good strategy and a really good pit stop to come out in P6 after all of this. Still a big gap to Houlihan, but definitely made some ground up in that pit stop phase.
I would think that John O'Ball is just settling down for the win in AM. He's got a massive gap between himself and Malak Taniak.
And look at McLaughlin started third down in 19th. I think that's a bit of a commentator's curse, really. We predicted them to get the overall podium, and they definitely didn't deliver on that one. I mean, 20 minutes, I don't think they have a chance, but you never know. For race 2, though, it's a full reverse grid, isn't it?
No, it's a
6-minute qualifying, I remember.
Single lap shootout. So, Matt and Connor, there's your first commentator's curse. How's that feel?
I wanted to see McLaughlin on the podium overall, in all honesty, so it's not ideal. Doesn't make me happy, that's for sure.
Yeah, not the best feeling.
So that's not the right answer. The answer is it feels great to be able to curse people at will. Promise to use your powers for good, not evil.
I'll try, but I don't know how much commentator cursing ends up being for good, hey?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because we're supposed to be quite impartial.
So I think O'Hara's gained 3 seconds on Munro, judging by the split times now.
He certainly has.
So definitely successful, and drivers will be taking note of this for the second race, and they'll be looking to go long in the second one. I mean, it's got its advantages, but as does going early. Going early can, get you out of traffic and get you out of any battles that might be slowing you down. And
I think I just heard someone spin. Yep, Stephen Marston.
Down in almost the last of the people who haven't DNF'd, so
yeah,
it's very unfortunate.
Having a bit of a nightmare run. He qualified well, and it just hasn't worked out in the race. The Bentley just not driving nice for him. He's gonna be
he did have that incident where
oh yeah, he
on the pit entry.
Yeah.
So that's why he's down 2 laps now.
Here we go. Oh, just missed this. So Thornton has put it up the inside of John O'Ball. And John O'Ball has just executed a perfect switchback on Thornton. So
So John O'Ball up into 6th place now. And Thornton will be looking to get that position back. Very, very late on the brakes there. Almost ran into the back of Ball.
Too wide on exit.
Ball had that at Zandervoort as well, actually. And hunting for puddles or breaking slipstream, I'm not certain, but I think that's
puddles.
Puddle
Definitely
hunting,
puddles.
yeah.
So 20 minutes to go. O'Hara way out in front. He's increasing the gap every single lap as well. 10.5 now is the gap. So have more battles further down. It's all kicking off at the final corner. Have cars every which way you want to think of. So Stephen Marsden, a couple laps down, unfortunately. Oh, we have one car around. That's Tim Wright again.
That's right.
It's wrong.
Right is.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
gosh.
Oh God.
That was-
come on, that should get me a
that was
few
good.
followers at least. That's a good play on words there.
But Wright has not been having a good race. That's, I think, their second spin, actually, or half spin.
I think he's had a
So-
couple of spins, unfortunately, young Wright. So, I mean, you know, these conditions are very tricky for everyone. So I don't think I've actually had a go in the wet with the new tyre model for ACC yet. Certainly in the dry, there's a noticeable difference in the handling. I've found, but I haven't done any runs in the wet yet.
Yeah, I'm the same, so I have no idea how it feels. And I would imagine that this is quite a few of the drivers on this grid's first time running in the rain. So
And
they'll all be figuring it out themselves.
And I'm going to get in there nice and early for Goldie Brothers. No, I haven't got those subscriber emotes yet. We're working on it, I swear. We're working on it. He asks that every single stream so far. You know,
Beat them to it.
beat him to it. Oh, God. So, nothing much happening anymore, although, well, that's not the position anyway. The two cursed Porsches. Although I say cursed Porsches, looks like Ryan Houlihan, if I can find him, there he is. So last lap at 2:07.1 versus a 2:07.9 for Spinozzi, so Houlihan is coming. He's hunting him down. Goldie Bros, don't give up, mate. I do promise we are working on something. It's just it takes a lot of time, and well, unfortunately, my full-time job is in an industry that really hates Christmas because it gets so damn busy. I think I've been having 10 to 11 hour days every single day for the last month.
That's pretty crazy.
Yep. Oh, Houlihan, save it! Oh, good work,
Houlihan,
son.
wow. That is a very impressive save.
Great work. Send him a cookie.
Yeah.
I reckon his rear tyres will be cooked. I think Ben Crabb has also looped it somewhere. He's dropped behind a Taniak again. Goldie Bros, I don't really want to put up my place of business or work. Just in case. Anyway, Houlihan, he's trying to chase down Spinozzi, definitely on the limit, trying to catch the 925.
You can see the car's so unsettled. He's just pushing it to the limits, and that's why he got all out of shape through Abbey, I think it is.
Well, it's working for him, though. The gap's
Yeah,
dropped down to
he
1.7.
is very quick at the moment, and he is gaining on Spinozzi in front in the pink Aston. As somebody's going around on the run into Village, I believe. An interesting line, actually, there.
It's definitely searching for the water.
That 6th gear sounds really good.
Look at that car twitching. Oh, that is late on the brakes. As to say, Houlihan is really good on the brakes in this Porsche.
So he might be very on the limit, getting it sideways almost, driving it like a go-kart, as you were talking about with Kotzer before in practice, I believe. but he's definitely got the confidence to go late on the brakes and properly send it, which is what we love to see, really.
Yeah, it's good to see. But you said confidence. Confidence is absolutely key in wet weather racing. It sounds like a placebo, but the more confidence you have in yourself, the better you tend to go. Ryan, what is that? Quadruple 8. This is nice, mate. Glad you're enjoying it. So Houlihan still closing up. It seems like as though he's more strong in the final few sectors.
Yeah, well, the last sector consists of quite a few slow speed. I think most of the slow speed corners on the track are in the final sector, so that's an interesting note. I mean, it is the Porsche, so he's probably underdriving it slightly in the high speed corners, just in case it twitches out and catches him by surprise. But honestly, looking at him, I'm not really seeing it, so I don't know.
He's really looking for the puddles, though.
Yeah, probably from all the sliding, getting the tires really, really hot.
Yeah, those rear tires must be absolutely cooked. As you can see, in the first sector, he loses time to Spinozzi, but it's about here that he'll really start making it up. So, but for Spinozzi, the only thing he really has to do is just keep his eyes pointed forward, not look in the rear vision mirror, and just keep driving to a number. Let Houlihan make mistakes himself.
Yellows into the final corner, Brooklyn's. It's cleared now.
Oh, that's the 150. I think that's Terry Darwin. Yep, he's had a lose.
He's lost it twice in this race now, I think.
He's not the only one, though. Had a lot of spins at Maggots, but let's check back in with...
Not easy conditions. I don't think most of the drivers, I think that most of the drivers are finding it very tricky, but someone who's not is O'Hara, absolutely running away with this into the final 15 minutes. He's got a 16-second gap to Munro, who started on second.
Oh, Spinozzi!
Oh my god.
No!
We've cursed it.
There we go. Oh no.
And that's an easy way for Houlihan to gain that position and move into 4th place.
I know Alex is watching the stream right now. Mate, what did I just say? What did I just say? Oh, jeez.
Poor dude. So, Houlihan, an 11-second gap to Cesena, who's running P3, that's the podium positions, as we've got ball load by, and that's Tim Davies again. They're in the gravel, they might be stuck, no. Lucky to get it out, that's a tricky spot of the track to rejoin onto, but they're fine. They're down to P16 now. And we've got more yellows, so it looks like that's the 33 out of the final corner. I'm not certain, but they were going very, very slowly there. As Jono Ball has crashed, they're going into the pit lane, and that's taken Jono Ball out of the lead into AM class.
Oh my gosh,
that's
look at the
huge
damage on the
We're
car.
Get a replay on that. What's happened there?
Oh boy. In the meantime, while we're waiting to find this, Ryan at Quadruple 8, saving up for the ultimate, a set of course at Ultimate Edition, more into street cars. Is ACC worth it with no mods? Mate, I think so, but it's a bit... It's the age-old argument of what's the better sim. Right, so that's where the damage has been. He's already had the damage. I reckon, what's the bet? He's grabbed the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Onto the grass almost, yeah.
Oh, that's...
Oh, that's huge!
That is...
Oh dear, that is an absolutely enormous crash. I'd be surprised to see them back in the race after that one. We get an onboard maybe.
I want to see the impact with the fence first.
Yeah. No, that is
Oh,
that is absolutely brutal.
that is severe damage. Wow.
It's one of the biggest crashes I've seen in ACC, if not the biggest, I think.
Well, let's jump on board with him. It's just as he grabbed gear as well. Oh,
Enormous.
massive damage, and he's also done damage to the front somewhere up the road as well.
Yep,
Oh.
that car might be totaled.
Oh,
He'll be lucky to get that back in the race.
oh.
I think he got the front damage just from the crash. That's undrivable.
he's had enough.
Just cutting the grass.
Jeez.
Mowing the lawn. 8 minutes to go in this race, or 9 minutes to go, I should say. As O'Hara running with the lead, and that's another yellow, briefly. It's gone now, and Bull's back in the race, only in P16, only down to P16, that's not too bad.
Dave Ross
As
again.
Ross is going around. So, we've got O'Hara, followed by Munro, who's actually gained a little bit. That gap's down to 15 seconds, but I don't think that Munro is going to come on for a win now. Cesena in third. I wonder how many podiums they've got in the season. That's certainly a result that they can be happy with. Houlihan, followed by Spinozzi, and that's for overall and pro. As for amateur, we've got Atanayake leading. That's a very, very good driver, Atanayake, in the Lexus as well. Lexus, a very good car for the rain, so that's just overall a very good pairing. Followed by Wright, who's not had the best of races with, I think, 2 spins now, but still holding it strong in second there. It's very impressive. Ferguson in third. Darwin in fourth. And Newman in fifth. So, some drivers who I haven't seen close to the front so much in AM class. I haven't been paying too much attention to it before, but I'm not certain that I've seen some of these drivers up to the front, even the podium positions in AM very often. So, definitely some drivers having some very good races out here.
Yeah, well, they always do say that rain is the great equaliser.
I think it just opens up the door for so many more things to happen.
Oh,
lucky.
I was going to say a little bit earlier that the Lambo is a very unstable car. Just from my experience driving around with it in the early days of ACC.
Yeah, and that ballast he's got carrying with him, that's certainly not going to help with the balance of the car and how it feels. Always. Oh my goodness. Oh!
Big save.
Big save times 2 as he lets Cotter through to lap him.
I think at this point you're just weighing up the traction control and the ABS. And,
he's all over the curbs as well. That's impressive. Yeah, I wonder what the traction control settings are on that Lamborghini. And Ryan 8888, yes, we are on PC.
Got another car off. Oh, Terry Darwin again.
Darwin destroying the floor of the car there. Village. That's not going to be ideal as he falls off of the podium places in AM. And now, apart from Marsden, who's had that incident earlier in the race, and it's impressive to see them still going. We've got a good split of pro and an AM overall. And I think it's safe to say that, unfortunately, the bet of McLaughlin on for Darwin all out of shape there into the final corner. But as I was saying, McLaughlin, who started third, has not had a good race at all, and they've moved down to P18 now, so that bet of them finishing on an overall podium or even an AM podium has gone out the window. Very unfortunate there.
Yep. There tends to be a bit of a theme running on this channel that people having their first time in the commentary box, they often give out their first commentator's curse within the first few minutes.
Yeah, well, we definitely did that.
Yep.
As soon as McLaughlin fell down the order at the start on the very first lap.
Well, nothing much else going. We see Spinozzi trying to put a lap on Peter Van Wingard, but Van Wingard's trying to make sure he can stay in front of John O'Ball just behind Spinozzi. So
So Houlihan back behind Spinozzi. Didn't Spinozzi have a half spin and get overtaken by Houlihan? What's happened there?
Porsche.
I think that sums it up pretty well.
Whoa, was that? That was Tim Davies. I just saw him.
Oh.
I'm really glad that we have these aqua cars out there because it makes it easier to see when they bin it in the background.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of makes me, now that I've said that, I feel really bad for picking on, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. Jeremy Walter's car last time out had aqua wheels on it. It was just non-stop ripping into him. Poor guy.
Yeah.
It was so bad he changed it.
Oh dear. I think Crab's going in a bit of a stealth mode with his black and grey car. It looks like a very nice car, I must admit, though. So I think another strat is to save himself from humiliation if he has any accidents with that dark black and grey car. Might not pick it up compared to the aqua cars.
Unfortunately for Ben, I'm a Nissan fan, so he's not getting away with it.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Any opportunity possible to focus on the Nissans.
It's a very, I think, in my opinion at least, a very underrated car. It's very quick at a number of circuits, and it feels very good from what I've heard. I haven't driven it personally, but I'd be interested in trying it out, to be honest.
It's certainly a very different beast of a car to drive. Get used to not really focusing on aero. Focus on the mechanical grip because, well, as in real life, the Nissan GTR does not really have a lot of aero grip. It is mostly all mechanical. And that is why in real life the GTR is such a slippery little car in a straight line and might eats everything alive. I'd say little, but it is one of the biggest cars on the grid.
Yeah. Which is it the Bentley or is it the M6?
What,
or even the Nissan?
I think they're all pretty thick boys.
Oh yeah.
It does take a fair bit to set up though. You need to be patient with it, that's for sure.
So yeah, someone in chat saying that BMW is 100% the biggest car.
Who said it?
That doesn't surprise me.
Who said
Glad
it?
he ate her.
There you go. We're all getting banned, so we may as well keep going.
Twitch ban incoming when.
Yep, here comes that ban hammer. I think I just saw Lockie Nichols off the track again. Oh no, he's still going. He's sliding it around though.
E19. Not the best of races to somebody who's been pretty consistently running up for podiums in our AM class.
Oh, hang on, I've just gone past him. There we go. Here's our race leader, Andy O'Hara.
And that is the biggest car on the grid as well. It's not wide and tall, it's also long.
It's so long. I remember in one of the races at Octane, at this track that I did, my brother was involved in it. He got turned around at Club Hairpin, and Bentley got turned around with him. And the commentators made the comment that if there were any two cars that could spin out in front of you, the one car you wouldn't want would be the BMW or the Bentley, but having both of them made the track pretty well blocked.
Yeah, for sure. It's an absolute massive car, and oh my goodness, O'Hara, that's not what you should be doing.
No,
But
it's
I mean,
okay. He's
I
right.
think he can get away with it because look at the gap. That's 26 seconds. We've got a yellow. That is the 100 and I can't read it.
150. That would be Terry
150.
Darwin, and 31 of Adam Ferguson. I think that is. He's binned it, and 48.
Oh
that
my
would
goodness, they're all going off there. Watch out, everybody behind.
be. Tyres have worn. Maybe some people getting a little bit burnt out from the race. Maybe they're just sick of the race and they want to get back into the pits and reset for race number 2. Maybe hoping for a bit of a better weather forecast. We got Simmons in the chat there. Who's in the booth tonight? Well, we've got Connor Bell and Matt Dodd joining me in the commentary box. So great to have these two guys along for the ride tonight.
And checkered flag. And O'Hara will take the win. So
Very
P1
easy.
for O'Hara, and a very, very, very stellar performance. That strategy, but not only that strategy, his driving has been, I would say, flawless. We haven't seen anything from him, and he's been very quick the whole time. So a stellar job from O'Hara there. As Monroe, P2 coming through Brooklands now, heading onto the start-finish straight. He's going to finish in second behind O'Hara, and that's something that he's hoping to change. I'm sure of for the next race. Flashing the lights there, he's clearly happy with that one.
Yeah, there we go. I thought as much. If I can find him, yeah, there we go. So
And O'Hara, of course, happy with that one too.
well, O'Hara, as with his driving, is very consistent with his burnouts as well. I've absolutely missed this guy.
In the
Unfortunately.
grass.
Yeah. Anthony Cesana gets a podium.
Congratulations to him, because I've not seen him super high up the grid
Let's see if we can't
too
find
often,
Adelaide
but he's a very, very solid driver, and when he's got his luck, is that deliberate burnouts?
That's Tim.
I can tell
Davies.
you, Ross going around there wasn't deliberate. And on his day, I think Cesana can be very quick, so very, very well worthy podium there. Houlihan in fourth, Spinozzi in fifth, so Houlihan does get past Spinozzi before the end. Thornton comes home sixth. Matt, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah, sure. So we got Thornton in sixth, Cotter in seventh, Crab in eighth, Asanyake in ninth, Wright in 10th, Ferguson in 11th, Newman in 12th, Darwin in 13th, Womanator in 14th, Ball in 15th, unfortunately McLaughlin in 16th, Wingard in 17th, Davies in 18th, Nichols in 19th, Poole in 20th.
Hang on, I will.
Can't see any further.
Yeah, hang on, I'll bring that results up. There we go. So we were at Nichols.
Marsden in 22nd and Wright in 23rd.
So I'll be right back.
Yep. So we got a 10-minute break while the drivers have another little warm up. Let's get back those results there. While Connor's out of the commentary booth, Matty, leave it up to you. Have you got a driver of the race to pick or hand out there?
I think Houlihan has done pretty good this race. I think he started 6th, did he not? Or
we'll have a quick look.
P6, I think.
Down 7th, actually.
Oh,
so
well, yeah, I think he did a good race in the Porsche. Obviously, saw him looking for puddles quite a lot, trying to get those rears cool. I think he did quite good, and O'Hara did an astonishing job of keep maintaining that lead the whole race. So yeah, definitely, I'd say that those two did quite a good job this race.
Yep, definitely Cesana for me. See where Cesana actually started. Down in 8th,
yeah.
and he got up to 3rd, so
yeah,
that's
definitely.
a decent effort from him as well.
So yeah, so how's the grid gonna switch up in race 2 then?
Well, we're about to jump into the second qualifying. Oh God, got the hellos going from Goldie Bros. Who else? So we go into a 6-minute qualifying session, which is enough for these drivers to get 1 lap in, and they're only allowed to have 1 lap. They can take it whenever they like in the session. So that will determine the grid for race number 2, and that will just about do us for the night. Another 1-hour race. So I suppose if you want to disappear and grab yourself a coffee out there, I'm more than happy for you to step out and grab a coffee. Yeah. Have you got a favourite for the next race, Matty?
Well, I do hope McLaughlin does better in the second race. Obviously, we picked him, but for the first race, but it could be another commentator's curse for the second race as well. I do hope that O'Hara does well in the next race as well. Hopefully, you can see his talent shine and hopefully make his way up the grid and do a good job.
Yeah, definitely. Oh boy. So, time to do a little bit of self-promotion. Of course, here on the channel we've got a few other events happening. So this Thursday night, it is the last round of the Super GT League. And boy, it's coming down to the final round in both GT 500 and GT3. So make sure you have followed the page. You got the notification bell ticked, so you don't miss when we go live for that. Then I believe Friday night we'll have another GT Club race. Hopefully, not really sure. Hopefully we'll get in touch with Steve Duro soon, and he'll give us what's going on Friday night with GT Club. And then next Sunday we have got AK Racing's V8 Supercar League, and that is always very entertaining to watch. And for those of you out there in the chat, if you're looking for a nice cruisy sim racing community to join, hang on a second, let me just post that again. Come and join the Go Race Promotion Sim Sports, or join AK Racing and indeed GT Club, mainly focusing on Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. As for Go Race Promotions, we have just announced the opening of our Australian Touring Car Championship Masters League, which will be utilising Group A and Group C cars. Had a few exhibition races with just the Group A cars, and it was absolutely thoroughly entertaining, so make sure you get your entry in for that. But before that, we have got TCX event number 2, and if you've just joined the stream, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Basically, TCX is a bit of an invention of ours, where we have slapped GT3, GT4 and V8 supercars all on the track at the same time in what is basically the ultimate multi-class touring car challenge for sim racers out there. And then, of course, for our sister league, GT Club, they have also announced the opening of their GT4 league, which will be starting next year, which isn't that far away, of course. So, yeah, make sure you jump over to GT Club and enter that league. That's going to be broadcast here on Go Race Promotions on Twitch. So, yeah, definitely have a go at that as well. So, throw it back to you, Matt Dodd. Obviously, you're looking at getting into sim racing. What's your initial impressions so far, just watching the AK guys having at it?
Yeah, well, kind of helped me get into racing a bit, so I definitely think it's a good way to get him more involved with just the whole racing as a sport throughout all types of races, so GT, Formula 1, yeah, V8 supercars, all those. Yeah, so I definitely think it seems like a lot of fun. It also seems like a good competition. It requires practice, so obviously a lot of the people who are driving here, they put a lot of practice in to make sure that they can do their best, which I think is quite fun, putting in the hard work to make something to compete against other people who have also put in their hard work. So yeah, I think it's definitely a fun sport that I would definitely like to get on top of.
Yeah, for sure. Have you actually got yourself a driving steering wheel yet?
No, not.
No, okay.
Unfortunately, I don't. But I'm definitely looking around.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye. There's a lot of couple of second-hand packages that are going around out there. Certainly pick up a decent steering wheel, because obviously with the COVID-19 rush, everyone went out and bought like crazy all the sim racing gear, and then they decided they didn't like it.
I bet.
Yeah. I think at one stage Fanatec was absolutely sold out on everything. And I think definitely my brother had to wait a month or two, I think, for his H pattern shifter and sequential. I got in just in time to get all my gear, so yeah, Yeah, it was absolutely crazy earlier in the year. So, yeah, definitely keep an eye on the Facebook market for some sim racing gear that goes up cheap.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Whew. What have I actually got? Just for a bit of a guide for you, I've actually got the Fanatec CSL Elite, and that's like the bottom of the line for Fanatec. And I tell you right now, it still makes my arms hang off my shoulders at the end of a race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't think it. Sim racing can be quite physical.
Yes, definitely.
I'm back, by the way.
Oh, you're back?
Yep.
Oh, thanks for the announcement there, mate.
Yeah.
So I've finished asking Matt the question about your driver of the race. We'll throw it over to you. Who was your driver of the race for race 1?
I think a lot of people overlook the leaders, and even if they lead from start to finish, and I think I have to give it to O'Hara because he was perfect. I don't think he had any mistakes, and had a great strategy on top of it. So I think I have to give driver of the day or driver of race 1 at least to O'Hara.
Yep, that's a fair call. I don't think many people would argue with that. Just in chat, Alex Spinozzi, bloody hell, that was hard. Didn't know it was the last lap, so I feel so. Last lap call didn't come up. If I knew that, I would have done my best hold of fully. Yeah, you know, it would have helped following my advice and not trying to push so hard to keep him behind you and not spinning. Just a little suggestion there, Alex. Pro racer tip, right there. Have that one for free.
If you want to be fast, keep it on the grey stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure you're in the right direction.
Yep. Got someone's bird going off in the background there. I'd like to point out that my bird is the only one that's allowed on this stream. I think he's actually asleep now. I haven't turned on the light in my living room. That's where he is. So I think he's.
I think that's actually in my garden. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, 3 seconds
Yeah,
ago.
we did see it, Alex. We saw it on the broadcast. We got everything.
Yep.
Just went quite unfortunate.
Yep. Well, it's almost time for shootout time. Favourite part of these races, actually. Well, these race nights from AK Racing. I like the 1 lap shootout for everyone. That's really cool. I'll have to keep that in mind for the Touring Car Masters. Maybe even keeping in mind for TCX. I don't know.
Green light.
Well, anyway, let's get to the track and find who is going to be first one on to go out. And it is Laurie McLaughlin. There we go. Redemption
Marsden
time.
keen to get out after that last race as well. Both drivers coming out quickly. Didn't have great races last time around. Obviously, Marsden finishing just last in front of Wright, who DNF'd, and McLaughlin starting third, finishing in, I think, 16th it was, Matt. Was it?
Who was that?
Was it Matt, 16th? Do you remember?
For Marsden.
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, yeah, he went down to 18th, I think.
Yeah, around there.
Yep, it was certainly not the race he was hoping to have, but he just, honestly, from lap 1, McLaughlin just did not look confident.
Yeah, let's hope he can find some more confidence in the car now coming into race 2 after an hours of practice in race 1. Wouldn't have wanted it to be practice, but I think that's how it turned out in a lot of ways. So he'll be looking to do his best. And I think if he doesn't qualify so highly, he might do a little bit better, as the pressure from qualifying so high might have gotten to him a little bit, and that might have caused some issues.
Yeah, that is always a possibility. Sometimes you can just psych yourself out by qualifying better than what you're expecting.
Yeah, that and also being up with Monroe and O'Hara with drivers like Cotter on his rear end, basically on his rear bumper, definitely would have scared him a little bit, I think.
Well, They just didn't seem to have that fighting spirit. Yeah, he just went backwards after that.
Hopefully we see like his qualifying excellence and practice excellence come out in this qualifying session, but more importantly in the race, because the race is where you score points, not the qualifying.
Well, let's jump on board with him. See if he's got the confidence to throw it into the corners.
So how's he done that lap time of 1:35 as he comes to the line? It's going to be a 1:43 on an out lap. And I think he's forgotten to turn on the windscreen wipers as well.
I think he's in bonnet cam. That's minus 20 points right there.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know if he's watching the stream, but Laurie, if you're watching the stream, mate, could you click on your wipers for us? Please, mate.
I don't think he'd be paying attention on the quali lap, to be honest. His one and only lap. Yeah, if you don't know and you're new around here, you get 1 lap in qualifying to set your lap. In qualifying 2, in qualifying 1, you get 15-minute session. In qualifying 2, it's a 6-minute session, of course, but you're only allowed to set 1 lap time. So it's your first lap time, your first full lap, not the out lap, not the in lap. Your first and only full lap, that is counted. And whatever happens, happens. So if you push too hard and you make a mistake, or you run wide and invalidate it or something, that's it, you're starting last. If you don't push hard enough, you might not be as high up as you want, so it's all about finding that balance.
Speaking of which, car 27, that's Kelvin Wright, he's binned it at turn 1. And we got car 67 who's binned it at the exit of Maggots. Who was that? That was the other one of the Wrights.
So Tim Wright and Calvin Wright might be starting from the back. I don't know if that was an out lap or a quali lap, but it could have been an out lap. However, we do see drivers take a tendency to go out early in these sessions, so I'm not too sure. I think I saw Monroe come out late.
Yeah, speaking of coming out late,
O'Hara.
he hasn't come out at all.
I just noticed he's not come out yet. Is he?
Does someone want to reboot him? Oh, we got people binning it everywhere though.
Village, that's not a good spot to lose it. That's a back to the pits, I just seen it.
Yep, number 36.
McLaughlin, P1, let's hope that lasts. It's not a quick lap time judging by the first qualifying, however, but you don't know for sure. It does look like it's raining a lot more, and it does actually say that it's raining a lot harder. So yeah, not the best lap time by McLaughlin, I fear, but Marsden not able to come close to anybody in front of him. That's 6 seconds off the pace.
Thornton up to 3rd, Ferguson into 5th, and Crab did not set a lap time.
So it looks like O'Hara's not going to get a lap time either as well.
So O'Hara's left the pits.
O'Hara, I think, for a bit of the challenge there, unless he's just forgotten to come back to his computer. Oop, I didn't know there was a second race, but I think he's actually just taking a challenge and starting from last after winning the first race, which I think racing drivers like a challenge like that, so I don't blame him.
Well, he's actually in chat, so he's probably heard us talking him up, and he's gone. You know, I'm gonna make these guys talk me up even more. So currently,
let's see it.
So number 68 will be next across the line. That will be Shane Poole. Kenny goes up to 9th. Up to 6th will be Ryan Houlihan, and Vanderham actually eclipses him. So good lap time from Vanderham. And we got, who's that coming around the corner? That's Terry Darwin. We'll find him. And we got Alex's brother in chat as well. And who was that? That was Terry Darwin up into the top 10. Don't think we have anyone else setting a lap. Oh, Chris Munro. He's still out and circulating. So we're going to
This could be a bit of a bet for pole, maybe.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it would be very good for Cesare if he got pole here. Citizen is having a great weekend so far. Munro is taking it really tight into the exit entry to, I don't know what the corner before Village is called. It's
Village.
turn 3 on the
He
F1.
hasn't made it. He hasn't made it.
Ah,
He ran out of time. Oh, that sucks. That
oh
sucks.
no. So Munro, among others, such as O'Hara, starting from the back.
Well, there's our
So
starting
Matt,
grid.
you want to take us through?
Matt, you there?
Oh, sorry.
We got two
Completely
Matts in the
zoned
commentary
out.
box, so yeah, I'll let that one slide.
All right. Yeah. So we got Sanas. Oh. I cannot say it. I cannot say it. I can get every other driver's name. Cesar.
Just move on.
Susanna.
Susanna, Spinozzi, Cotter in third, Thornton in fourth, Ball in fifth, Humanator in sixth, the Houlihan in seventh, McLaughlin in eighth, Nichols in ninth, Darwin in 10th, Atanyake in 11th, Paul in
Pretty
12th,
good.
Ferguson in 13th, Marsden in 14th, Ross in 15th, Munro in 16th, Wingard in 17th, Davies in 18th, Wright in 19th, Newman in 20th, O'Hara in 21st, Wright in 22nd, Crab in 23rd, and Lucas in 24th.
Yeah,
So which drivers are we keeping an eye on for this race? Because I'm interested
O'Hara.
to see how Crab,
O'Hara.
Lucas, and of course O'Hara go starting from the back, and even Munro starting 16th. But also, Cesena would be interesting because I think he's got the pace to go for a race win if he can build the gap to, of course, Chris Munro and O'Hara, who I think are faster. O'Hara is pretty much definitely faster. But I think he might have the advantage to Spinozzi and Cotter and Thornton behind him, not only on track position but on pace. So it could be quite interesting as they get underway for the formation lap to see just how the pro split end up.
Well, we've got a massive mix of drivers near the front. I mean, John O'Ball there, up in fifth, leading the there he is, leading the AMs, and in that triplet of Bentleys.
They're still side by side.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be single file. Come on. Someone not wanting to give way. That's
It doesn't matter.
Vanderham.
As you say, it
Yeah,
just
it
goes
doesn't,
through each
but-
other.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good on the screen, that's for sure. So
Take away
interesting
from the
that-
emotion.
Interesting that drivers are weaving, but then go looking for puddles of water during the race.
Well, you lose the temperature on the formation lap. I don't think they're going to be actually. They might be. Look at the weather. It was very, very heavy rain in qualifying too. They're really bunching up here. This is a nightmare.
Yep.
This is your Monday morning traffic here. But if we look, it's not raining as heavy at the moment as it was in qualifying 2, about as heavy as the race before. And in 30 minutes to come, instead of getting heavier, the rain is actually easing up a bit. So, could we see some dry weather before the end? I'm not certain, but we might see some damp conditions and maybe some people on dry tires. I'm not certain. I don't think so, but it is a possibility looking at the weather forecast.
Oh, speaking of traffic, lazy Monday morning traffic, this is what Andy O'Hara is looking at, and what do you reckon's going through his head right now, apart from zeros and ones?
Probably just thinking about the drivers around him. I'm not sure if he's raced these people too much in the past. Obviously, he's always near the front, so it's a thing that happens when you race amongst people a lot. You get to know their sort of patterns and behaviors, so you get to say, oh, this person is going to give me way if I send it, or this person's going to be super aggressive on defense and we might have a contact or something. But he might not know these drivers, so he's going to be looking to basically figure out what they're going to do and just look for the best way through. Obviously, in such dangerous conditions, there could be some incidents, some spins, and I think his mind might be just best focused on avoiding these incidents and making up as many positions as possible right off the bat.
Oh, I'll throw it over to chat. Sorry, beg your pardon. Throw it over to chat. Give us your favourites. Who do you reckon's going to take this one out? And you better put in your favourites quite quickly because we are about to get a start. Let's go into
My
our
vote
drone cam.
Cessna.
Let's get into our drone cam. We get set for a start. One car already in pit lane. Is that Andy O'Hara? That is Keen Lucas. So we are getting set for a start.
Look at Cotter.
And we are away on racing.
As it goes green, 3 wide for the first corner.
I think we're going to get
Almost.
through it though. Oh no, we're not.
Oh,
that is
that's
Munro.
Munro.
And the Porsche of, I forget who that
Ross
is.
and Crab.
Yep.
Ross and Crab.
Yep.
So we make our way through Maggots and Beckett's now. Side by side for a lot of the field.
Taniaka is gone. So is Ferguson.
Ferguson. That's not good. That's going to be...
Oh, those
That's
cars
gonna be a
just
big
threading
yellow
the
flag.
needle.
And you won't see it to the last second as well. Very impressive for them to all make it through. They're back up looking at the lead now, or towards it more. We've still got drivers fighting for positions very hard. We see Cotter's made it into second place, it looks like. And Cezanne holding the lead very well. As Spinozzi falls to third, and Cotter into second. Ball into fourth as well.
Oh, Ball, he's just managed to pull it up. He's trying to defend from Dave Thornton.
And he's going to get a good exit to come onto the back of Spinozzi now as well. So might look down on Hamilton Straight, which has been newly renamed. And into Abbey, not really much of an overtaking spot, but definitely into the Village hairpin. He could have a look. Kotza's wide. Kotza's gone wide a bit.
We're going to go into helicopter view just to try and catch as much of the craziness as we can. Tim
Oh,
Wright running wide, and Van Wingard and
Look at O'Hara.
O'Hara.
He's made up some positions, it looks like.
Made up some positions. He's up to 13th.
That's 7, I think. So 7 in the first 2 sectors. It's a very impressive drive, and that's just all been about, I think, keeping it clean, knowing when to push, and knowing when to be a bit more reserved to not get into any collisions. As the right goes quite deep.
You could see O'Hara avoiding a lot of the spins that were happening, and I think that's a good job by him.
Well,
we saw Poole, I think that was...
No, it was definitely Poole. God, heart in your mouth stuff. Like Van
Almost
Wingard
head
did
on.
very well to avoid that. He was off-sighted by Andy O'Hara, but he still managed to react quick enough to just avoid the incident.
Someone's off at turn 1. Someone's off at turn 1.
Didn't see it.
So the yellows, it's like 37, I think.
37. It's Van der Hum. He was going slow.
Yeah, Van der Hum's lost positions, I think. Yeah, he has. He's been off.
How much damage is on the front? Oh, that's a lot of damage on the front.
That you might be thinking of pitting with that damage.
That's definitely painful for Ben Crab, and the painful Crab at GTR.
Now, was it Crab that had the big crash in race 1, or was that someone else?
No, that was one of the Bentleys. I think it was the
you're right.
3 of Ball. That's right. So.
So Ball's making a good comeback. Oh, and Nichols side by side with Munro. Through the chicane, Munro's making the move as Nichols going to tuck in behind. No switchback there. And Munro takes the position, moves up into 9th.
Here comes O'Hara. Almost into the
and
top
Nichols
10.
looking for puddles. Look at the speed advantage. You can really tell that O'Hara's just got a better car under him into that corner. And being very reserved, very smart about when he's going to make the move, not making any dive bombs or silly overtakes. He probably knows Nichols is not the slowest driver on the grid for sure, and someone who he can stick behind for a decent amount if he wants to. And just look at the size difference of the cars.
Nichols
Nichols pulls away.
He's going to get out of it and just fall behind O'Hara, I think. Oh, no, he's
No,
battling.
he's going for it.
Oh!
And
oh,
Nichols.
Nichols
Oh,
saved
that's
it.
a big save. That's a big save.
O'Hara going with the trailer park girl approach right around the outside, and it's paid off for him.
Very good moves by O'Hara to get themselves from 21st to 10th on the opening 2 laps now. As we go to the lead, Cotter, what's happened to Cesena? Cesena's fallen to 7th. As we see, Ball's gone off as well. Ball's gone off from 3rd down to 7th now.
Well, we're going to have to jump in and do some replays, I think, just to find
And
out
Ball's
what's
got damage on the rear end. I think I can see damage. Oh dear, that is not. Let's see. No, I don't think so.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Marginal.
not too much.
We'll have a quick look at some replays, just work out what has happened in all those crazy first 2 laps.
So what's happened with Cesena there?
Well, let's find out. We'll try and find our leader. There he is. So he's dropped it. I reckon he's done it into village. He saves it. But he's lost all the time in the world there.
Onto the grass as well. It's going to be losing him even more time.
Let's find out what happened to John
Now for
Ball.
Ball at turn 1.
I think this will just be another oversteer moment.
On the curb, maybe.
No. Just
Not
tipped
even.
it in. Tried to drift it round. And, he got a helping hand from Thornton.
Yeah.
But this is something that... I'll tell you something I want to watch. As soon as I find him. Here we go.
O'Hara's on board A.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're all backing up. Oh, good start.
So he gets a good start against Wright. Into turn 1, he's going to see a collision and barely misses it. That's impressive.
Yep. And to answer Goldie Bros' question, that is what happened to the GTR. Ben Crabb just not able to avoid the spinning Porsche of Ross. And even more silliness here, and he's had to go off the track, and he's
been fair about it. He's lifted off. He's not gone flat out to cut the corner properly. He's lifted off and been very much a gentleman in that one.
Well, unsurprising for O'Hara. He's very experienced. He knows not to gain any time from cutting the circuit. I think we might check back with our live coverage, the live racing.
So Cotter holds the lead, Spinozzi in 2nd, followed by Houlihan in 3rd, Fortin in 4th, and Cezanne has made its way back up to 5th, just a little bit from 7th where they were before. And McLaughlin's up in 6th. That's good for McLaughlin.
Where did he start?
I believe he started around 8th.
Around 8th, okay. So he hasn't gone backwards. He's definitely looking a little bit more confident. He's looking at a move on Cesana.
As we see both Monroe and O'Hara behind him. So I think these 4 might be losing positions to those 2 soon. As I wonder if O'Hara will actually stick behind Monroe or will actually go for a move before they get up the field.
Lachlan, I think he just grabbed that sausage curve coming onto the Hamilton straight.
Well, lucky that he saved it then, because that's a very dangerous curve, I'd imagine.
It is. It just generally pops the car up on 2 wheels and you go wide with plenty of runoff on the left-hand side there. So, in fact, McLaughlin has dropped down behind O'Hara then. So let's jump on board with Chris Munro as he gives chase to 2 of his Bentley compatriots.
2 of the many.
To Benny, yep. Tell you what, there is a nasty gaggle of cars a little bit further back, being led by the number 2 of Stephen Marsden. We'll have to check in with them.
Oh, very wide, taking a beeline into Brooklyn's. I wonder if that's a rain line he's trying to take and make work there. Oh, and
or maybe he's got a big
O'Hara.
BMW stuck beside him.
O'Hara's going to have it side by side into turn 1. Who's going to back out? Or is none of them going to back out? There could be an accident here, or there could be a move. O'Hara on an inside line. Monroe gets the run. Now into Maggots and Beckett's. It's going to be side by side through turns 2 and 3. And Monroe seems to back out of that one just a little bit and let O'Hara through. And that's
Yep.
going to be absolutely vital for O'Hara's race if he wants to actually come back from P21 to take the race win.
They're certainly
They've definitely
going about it the right way. I mean, already up to 6th position after only about, what, 4 or 5 laps. Ooh, we have got some action further back down. That's Tim Davies again, and I saw the 48 of Dave Ross well and truly out of it in turn 1. Just another struggle. Kelvin Wright's off at Maggots as well.
Wright is just not having a good weekend.
No. Oh, speaking of not having a good weekend, Lockie Nichols, he's struggling like crazy. He's going to be
They're going to be side by side.
Ball in club corner, and he
switch back maybe.
I don't know. Nichols is.
He's got the run.
I don't know. I think Nichols he's just not confident at all in these conditions. I think that first race would have knocked his confidence around after the many spins he had.
Of course, he's also had the ballast applied to him, so that would be slowing him down a bit as well.
I think for Nichols, this is just a survival exercise. Pick up whatever positions you can and try to keep the car pointed forward. We've still got another battle here. That's Vanderham. Harmonator is under attack from Ben
Crab, who's still carrying that damage.
Might not be bad enough.
He's got a yellow flag down the field. I think that's Ross.
Here we go. Bit of a dive here. Maybe a send. Nah, he pulls
Backs
out of it.
That's smart.
I would have tried it.
Fair enough. He has got the damage, remember.
Yeah,
might
that's true.
have knocked his confidence and also knocked his performance, of course. So seeing a very interesting battle coming up for, I guess, P3 now. P3, P4, that's Thornton.
Let's go check that out.
Yeah, lots of cars close together here. And I think we're going to see O'Hara making the move on Cesena here. Looks to be inside into a Stowe now. A very tricky corner, especially in the rain with the group levels. Has he got the move done? He's going to run wide a bit, and yes, he has indeed.
Easy.
Cesena could do nothing for that one, holding it around the outside. And Munro will be next person to look at overtaking Cesena, who started on pole position, but unfortunately fell away. As for Spinozzi, started second, still holding on, and Kotzer starting third, has moved up into first place. So a good start from Kotzer, that's very ideal, and he's got a 5-second gap to his name, so definitely making the start that he wants, and he could be a bet to win this race now.
Next in O'Hara's line of sight is David Thornton in the number 16 Bentley. And well, look at the traction that BMW has. We're going to quickly jump on board looking back from Thornton. That's probably not a sight you'd like to see in your rear vision mirror. I'm sure some of these guys can't do much about it, although O'Hara...
Oh, O'Hara wide, and Thornton's going to take that position back. O'Hara's going to have to try that one again if he can even catch back up to Thornton. Yeah, this Kotzer increases his lead over Spinozzi. So he's had a very good start. By the time Spinozzi's crossing the start-finish straight, Kotzer's gone through turn 1. So definitely should be happy with this one after taking the stop and go 30 seconds in the last race. And Matt, do you remember where he came last time?
Who was that?
Kotzer.
Kotzer. I can't really remember where he
I think
placed.
it was around 8th, which is pretty good. And we've got a yellow flag near the back. I think that's Ross again.
That's,
oh no,
Davies.
It's Tim Davies, and he's gone into the wall, it looks like.
Good
so
question.
I wonder what's happened there.
So he's grabbed that. Oh my god.
Grab that. He's got damage.
AstroTurf.
He's not got damage. He's managed to save that somehow. Or he's got a bit on the side, but I'm not sure if that's from the same crash.
Yeah, that could be from just...
Oh dear. He's not happy.
Struggling. He is struggling.
Not happy at the moment, no.
No, Spinozzi's had a lose into club, I think. Maybe that was just him taking the corner. Not sure. Not sure.
Might just be a spin Aussie thing.
Oh, who's that? That's had a
No,
spin.
behind.
That is David
That's
Thornton.
What's
And
happened
who's
there?
that? Susanna's there with him, and Susanna's going very slow. I'd say that's a redress. That must be a redress. So we'll have to take a quick replay of that.
Loses the position to McLaughlin, Darwin, and
Ooh, Thornton into the fence
wall.
now.
That's heavy.
That is huge damage. And, geez, we're going to have to... We'll have a quick replay. We'll see if Thornton...
That might be back to pits. He's gone back to pits. He's out.
He's gone. He's out.
That's a huge, huge crash there.
Yep.
Yeah, just getting onto the AstroTurf, which does its job. It's meant to be slippery to make the drivers not really use it. Now, in the dry conditions, you can normally get away with it, but in these wet conditions, if you touch the AstroTurf, especially on such a hard and fast corner where you're really using all of the grip, you'll go around.
So let's see. Thornton is just there behind Andy O'Hara. He's actually sticking it to O'Hara. I have a feeling that
did he get damaged?
7,
oh dear!
That's a big dive, and he's tried to avoid him. Total accident. Unfortunately, yep.
We should get an onboard with Cesena there. What's happened with Cesena? It's just missed the brake marker, I suppose.
Well, that's a good question. Let's jump on board with him. We'll face the right way. I don't know. It looks like he sort of grabbed the throttle, but still, well, on the brakes. Oh, and I think he got collected by Munro as well.
Looked like it. So I wonder if Munro has much damage from that, because that's really going to hurt his cutting back from 16th to ideally first for him. And yeah, I think it looks like to me he's broke late, and maybe he could have gotten away with it, but he seems to have panicked. That or the cars in front of him have slowed down, or he's just broken a bit too late. Because that looked like a dry position for braking, a dry brake marker. So in the rain, I'm not sure if he'd be able to get away with the same distance. But it doesn't seem to hurt Munro the damage at all. But I think he's just panicked, lost it, gone over the curb, and unfortunately collected with Thornton.
We're on board with Chris Munro, and it doesn't, whatever damage he has received, it's not affecting him. He's all over the back of Lauren McLaughlin. Oh, he thought about the dive bomb, you could see it. Might go for it in the next corner, although McLaughlin just covering nicely. And, well, Munro's going to have to try and get the drive, but he hasn't quite gotten the best run out of the final hairpin of Village.
And we've got yellows, two cars have gone off, one in Village and one in the corner before it. That's
Terry Darwin and Jono Ball again.
Ball around again. Oh dear, oh, that's Pool's gone into the back of Ball there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of speed to be carrying into there.
I think I might want to avoid the Discord to this evening, that's for sure.
Yeah. I know Cesena wanted it in all together, so I wonder what was going on when Cesena just got into that collision there.
I think he, like you said, he made a mistake and just, yeah, unfortunately trying to avoid. And that is O'Hara around.
Oh, that is
what?
not good.
What?
Programming failed.
Yeah.
There was a 2 in curve.
Win race from the back. XE has stopped working.
And I wonder what's happened there. It was Brooklyn's, was it? No,
Maggots.
Beckett's.
Yeah,
Maggots.
Yeah. Well, same thing.
Maybe got the AstroTurf. And Rooker says, "I've seen it all."
Yep.
You sure have when you've seen an O'Hara mistake. That's a very rare incident, I think.
But still out in front. We haven't given any time to this guy, Matt Cotter. He's still just circulating. I wonder if, oh, he's still working the wheel hard. You can see. We'll jump on board with him.
He's in a race of his own here, driving it like a go-kart.
I think that's more like a speedway car there.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit more than a go-kart in that one. Yeah, he's got an interesting driving style for these wet conditions. It's very entertaining for sure as we see yellow flags pop up on the entry to the chicane.
car 68. Oh, we've just caught Andrew Ferguson going around, and that is quite
plans
a
the
nice
throttle.
little recovery.
That's it, yeah.
Decent recovery. Out of 10. No, that's an 11.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you with that one. Plans the throttle, obviously trying not to stall the car.
And Terry
What's
Darwin's
happened
gone
to
around.
facing the wrong way? Oh, and that's going to be damage of some sorts. That's at Village.
Yep.
And into the gravel to top things off, so he's going to have gravel
That's the
all
that's
caught up
really
in his
the
car. And he spins, and that's the cherry on top for
hang
Darwin
on,
there.
he's just trying to outdo the recovery from Ferguson.
I don't know if he's done it so well.
No.
As Nichols takes Darwin's position, what's happened to Nichols? Because he started like 8th or something.
That is a good question. I would say
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini curse.
Yep, that sums it up, I think.
Yep.
Gives a good explanation for it.
Pretty well. Let's try and find another battle. Spinozzi's still sitting in second, but he's starting to come under some pressure a little bit from Houlihan. Although Houlihan not quite close enough yet. And 67 off the track at Maggots. That is Terry what? Tim Wright.
Oh, that is not the
damage.
aerodynamics of the Aston Martin. That is not how it should look at the front end there. That is some heavy, heavy damage, and he's going to be back into the pits to repair that. I'm sure that bonnet.
He's gonna.
He'd be lucky if it doesn't fly off him.
He's gonna have to really suffer with it, unfortunately. But let's find out what has happened to Tim there.
Was that on the entry to Maggots? Was it?
I think that is on the apex. I think. Let's see if we can't find him. 27? No, it wasn't. There he is.
67. All right.
So yeah, on the change of direction.
Too much curb. Oh dear,
Takes
that
lap.
car has just not reacted very well to that at all, and it's not that hard into the wall for the amount of damage we've seen, but yeah.
Yep.
Definitely a pretty heavy hit, and he'll be back into the pits, I'm sure.
Well, he's more than likely just going to have to suffer with it for the next 3 minutes, because then he can knock over his mandatory pit stop at the same time.
Yeah, you're true, and if you're yeah, well, he is losing a lot of time, I think. But if you are, oh, and that's a either a move or defense from Monroe by Houlihan there, and, defending into Maggots. And as I was saying, if you're new here, 3 minutes time, it's 38 minutes now. By 35 minutes, the pit stop window opens. In this race, you have to take tires in your pit stop. You have to take 1 pit stop for tires and nothing else. Repairs if you need them. And no fuel allowed. So you have from 35 minutes to go until 25 minutes to go to take this pit stop. And it's all about, are you going to undercut, overcut, pit in the middle? What are you going to do to get the advantage over the cars around you? Because it's only 10 minutes, a lot of strategy can be held. And a lot of strategy can go down basically in those 10 minutes where the pit stop phase is on. So yeah, that's why if he doesn't come into the pits, which it looks like he has actually, then that's why. Yeah, the damage was very, very, very hard, so it might be faster in the end just to pit and then pit again. Very unfortunate, but that happens.
They've even gotten a meatball flag for it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, meatball gives you 3 laps, I believe, to come in and serve it, so we could have still. Oh, and we see the 168, I think it is,
That's
around at. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Around at Beckett's. That Lamborghini in the wet weather is just not finding the grip.
No. O'Hara's up to 3rd, actually, and he's all over the back of Alex Spinozzi. So the comeback is almost complete. 7:23, that is Van Wingard. He's lost it in Village again.
And I wonder what the leaders are thinking about right now with their pit strategy. I think Cotter might try to go long, because if he stops early, he'll filter back into the traffic. So I think he'll try to do what O'Hara did in the first race, and keep mixing the two of them up. Yeah, but I think he'll try to go long like O'Hara did. I'm not sure about Spinozzi and O'Hara though, and also McLaughlin. So well, all of the other drivers really. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out on the field.
O'Hara's just moved his way up into second position. He just moves over to cover from a bit of a reply from Spinozzi. And I think Spinozzi just happy to sit in third, stay out of trouble, and hopefully have a cleaner race than last time. Hopefully with no spins. And, I think just in the background, yeah, Chris Munro has actually gotten around Ryan Houlihan as well, so yeah. Certainly action's not stopping, but how's this guy? Still up in fourth.
He could be on for an overall podium now, so if you did predict that, now I don't want to curse him here, so knock on wood.
Yeah, so we're going to look away from him.
Yeah, that's a good call. But yes, that prediction could come true in the end, and it's been a very brilliant race from him so far. As both the Bentleys going off the road in the same fashion there. It's a four-way battle here for P12 it is, or P11 actually. Behind.
So we have a four-way battle.
And these people will be thinking about pitting. But the problem with this is when you get into such a big pack, you obviously want to, if you're towards the back of it, you want to like pit early and undercut them and get out of the traffic. But if the cars in front of you also pit early, say for Poole, if Newman pits and if Ball decides to pit or anybody in front of them decides to get out of it, that could mean that it's going to be a last-minute decision on whether they pit this lap or not. And it's always very stressful to figure it out.
Well, just to keep an update on who's in the pits and who isn't. Matt Cotter in the pits, Alex Spinozzi,
that's interesting.
Warren McLaughlin and Chris Munro all in the pit lane. I believe they're going for a bit of an undercut on Andy O'Hara, who is staying out there again. We'll see where they come out, because they might be able to avoid some of the traffic. In fact, let's skip ahead to Chris Munro. He isn't mobile just yet. He might actually come out just in that little gap there. Well, Spinozzi's actually going out, and he will actually have a bit of clear track in front of him and behind him.
As with Cotter. So if you're watching and you're not too familiar with ACC, as I said before, you have to pit once for tires, and you see on the positions, what is it called? It's a little like where all the drivers are.
The tower. The tower.
Yes, the timing tower. That's what it is. Just slipped from my mouth. If you've got a 1 and the orange sign next to your driver number, that means that the driver hasn't pit yet, and they have to come in and pit for their tire change. If you've got a little green symbol, that means the driver has already pit and done their tires, and they won't need to pit for the rest of the race. So we can see that Cotter, Spinozzi, McLaughlin, and Monroe there have all taken their tires in the pit stops. As with Davies and Nichols, everybody else is yet to take them. And we'll have to see what they do with strategy. But O'Hara, from P21 on the grid at the start of the race, inherits the lead. Let's see if by the time he comes out, by the end of this pit window, he's still in the lead or not.
Cotter's sitting in 6th position, but he's got this nasty little battle pack just ahead of him, being tailed by Ben Crabb as he goes past the stricken Lexus of Tim Davies and the Lambo of Lockie Nichols. So I have to wait and see when Crabb actually comes in, because that's a fair bit of damage.
Having a look, going to get under the rear bumper.
Well, Nichols is a lap down, so he shouldn't really be trying for a move. I don't think he was. I think he was just...
maybe upbraking Crabb a little bit. That happens. As Houlihan dives into the pits, so does Van Wingard and Ross down the field. And I think that was Cesana, yes. Yep. Cesana and Marsden into the pits.
I'm finding it amazing that Crabb has not come into the pits to try and get that car fixed up.
And another thing is Crabb's making mistakes. He's just let Nichols pass into turn 1. as he ran a bit wide, maybe a loss of grip or something. If I were him, I think I'd be coming in now because it looks like he's starting to properly struggle with these tires, and if not already with the damage on his car.
Well, this is an actual battle for position. So we got Ben Newman in the Bentley. He's under pressure from Lauren McLaughlin, who's just come out of pit lane with fresh tyres. He's up to temperature. Geez, I have to say, this is a completely different Laurie McLaughlin that we saw from race 1. That is...
Absolutely. He's looking for the move on, who is that? Is that Newman in front of him? Now, Newman hasn't done a pit stop, so I don't think Newman's fighting that too hard. He isn't. And Laurie McLaughlin makes it up into P6 or P5 now.
Yep.
2 drivers in front of him still have to pit, so we'll see if that's actually a podium position now.
Definitely for the lead of Am, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a huge gap to pull in 11th, and if not Newman, who will have to pit still if Newman comes out in front of the pool, but I don't think he will.
Now Andy O'Hara in pit lane. That was the Tim Davies Lexus that was around there.
Indeed, it was.
Thank goodness for the aqua paint job. As well, we got a bit of a fan club in chat. That'd be
sure do.
Yep, Richards Riddy in the chat, going for Lauren McLaughlin. I believe these two are teammates. Normally, I want to say. They have been teammates, I'm not sure. Either way, Laurie's got a fan club in the chat, so well, he'll be quite happy with that. Oh, Lachlan, please don't bring the commentators curse alive.
Oh, there's a move there.
Oh yes, Ben Newman.
And Houlihan has already pit.
Yep.
So Newman really falling down the order. Probably starting to lose time because of all the overtaking that's happened. And somebody's gone round after turn 1. I wonder who that is.
Tim Davies.
Tim Davies again. Just doing some donuts now. Cutting the grass. Oh, he's got front end damage.
Front end damage, and those rear tyres were cooked. He's got to try and...
and the thing is, he's already pit as well, so he might have to take another pit stop.
Yep.
That's just awful for Tim Davies, far from ideal.
Yep.
And that front damage is very, very heavy, so...
Now, this is a cranky-looking battle pack.
Oh,
James Vanderham
as Ball goes for the move into turn 1, that's ballsy from Ball.
Well, Vanderham, Humminator did not make that difficult for him. Oh!
Oh! That was very, very close there.
That was very early call from me, actually. He's definitely fighting back on Ball.
The good onboard here is Vanderham's going to go for a very good exit out of Beckett's, but can't quite hook it up. And I think that Ball's going to run away with this one a little bit.
Yeah, he just
down into Stowe. Vanderham, Humminator's a bit too far back for a look, I think. So maybe into the club chicane, I think it is, yeah?
Yep. You just saw he just sort of turned in a little bit too early. But he's got a chance here.
Yeah.
Club.
Ball didn't have the greatest of Stowe's. And runs deep into club, it looks like.
He's able to get the drive down a little bit better than Hum.
Pit window. Oh, and O'Hara's pit. We've missed that, as has Crab, as Ball runs wide. And O'Hara has come out in P2, but 11 seconds down on Cotter. So can O'Hara take the lead, or can Cotter hold on from O'Hara's mighty pace in the final laps? Or not final laps, really. It's still half the race to go, to be honest.
Oh, we've just got a better nickname for Vanderham in chat. Yummy Hummy. Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. That's, I'll pay that one. So, yeah. I agree, Ruka. Dear Lord. Richard is very, very happy with that one. Can't blame him, actually.
That comment right there, officer.
Yes. Excellent.
Is Vanderham carrying a little bit of front end damage, actually?
Yes,
Looks
he is.
like he might be,
I saw
yeah.
the bonnet flapping around. Yeah, he's definitely got a little bit of damage on the front end. That's okay. That might be why he's actually slowing down a bit, actually. Let's step back a little bit. Terry
And,
Darwin is having a shocker.
Darwin.
But we got our race leader.
Cots is in traffic, that's not good for him.
No. And it's battle for position, I believe. Well, it was. Here we go. Alex Spinozzi under pressure from Laurie McLaughlin. Oh, yeah, Richards, let's definitely not go there. Let's definitely not go there. So Spinozzi now, he's under a bit of pressure here from Laurie McLaughlin. Look at the back of the Aston.
And the rain's died down. Has the rain stopped entirely?
I think it may have settled down. Oh, I thought that was a dive bomb attempt there from McLaughlin.
Still a very wet track. Yeah, I think it has stopped, and I can't even see any spray off the back of Spinozzi.
Nope, there it is.
No, it's definitely there, just not on the onboards apparently. But so yes, it does say it's should be lightening up a bit,
I think it's
and
been
it
like that
should
all
lighten
night.
up by the end of the race. Yeah, you're right. It has
Yeah,
been
it's-
lightening up the whole time.
Yeah, we haven't got 30 minutes left in the race anyway. Now, I
Yeah.
saw two Porsches side by side, not for position, so we'll forget about that one. So let's jump on board with Laurie McLaughlin. Let's not, because he hasn't got his wipers on.
Freaking bonnet cam.
Yeah. Might be in chase cam, you never know. Might be in chase cam.
I would sure hope not.
Yeah, that would be a banning.
I've tried it, but I can't imagine driving from chase cam, in all honesty.
No. Probably okay if you're using a gamepad, but steering wheel, no, I can't imagine it. But, geez, this is a really great performance for. No, I'm not even going to say it because that is commentator curse stuff. So let's.
Munro.
Munro, yeah, Munro, he's done well. He's done well. Started down in 16th, now sitting in 5th. Got caught up in a bit of the turn 1 shenanigans. But he's still at it. Still having a good crack at it. Trying everything he can to get around McLaughlin, so he can have a go at Alex Spinozzi. Spinozzi just seems to he's just seemed to have gotten the pedal down a little bit. Now he's just gapped McLaughlin. McLaughlin's just falling into the hands of Chris Munro down the hanger straight. Munro just moving around a little bit. He's trying to put the pressure on McLaughlin. For McLaughlin, I think the smart money for him would be to maybe just back off and let Chris Munro through, because he's not racing. Well, they're racing, but they're not racing for the same class.
That's true, but overall, McLaughlin's still going to be hungry for the best finishes possible, so I don't know if he'll fight it too hard. Certainly doesn't want to make a mistake, because McLaughlin right now in the lead for AM class by a long shot. So I don't know how hard he'll push, but of course that P4 overall looks very, very nice, and I think he'll want to keep it.
Oh, Spinozzi had to put a bit of a desperate dive bomb there, trying to put a lap car between himself and McLaughlin. Hasn't quite paid off because that was Nichols that was diving out of the way of the, well, the pink torpedo.
Yeah, had to. That could be. Yeah.
Well, there's still the spinning torpedoes.
So, Cotta's gap to O'Hara's gone down by 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Since the pit stop. So only 2 seconds is not too promising for O'Hara. Still, O'Hara is gaining because it's about 11 seconds before, but
he's just
I think O'Hara will once. Oh no.
Yeah.
I think we've woken him up on accident. Oops.
Yep.
Oh no.
Talking like that about O'Hara is like looking in the mirror and saying, what is it, Bloody Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't do that. But I have to say, I think Cotter was just fighting his way through some traffic. That might have had something to do with it as well.
Certainly, traffic is playing a big part in this. There's a lot of drivers, especially in the AM class, making huge mistakes. Lots of spins, lots of crashes even. So they're very spread out around the track. And so if you're in traffic, you're going to lose a lot of time, especially in these conditions, getting excess water kicked up at you behind from your car in front. And just a lot of traffic because drivers are all over the track at unpredictable positions. So it's definitely throwing a spanner in the works for some drivers.
Well, Cotter's managed to clear that gaggle of lap cars. Now O'Hara is onto the back of them. We'll quickly check. That's
Darwin.
That's Darwin going backwards in the Honda. This has not been his race, but you know, to his credit, he is not giving up. And that's honestly what I like to see. I don't like seeing people, they have one spin or whatever and they give up. Keep going. You never know what's going to happen. And that's with any form of racing, whether it's sim racing or real racing. You just don't give up. You just never know what's going to happen. Okay.
Yeah, so especially in such an unpredictable race like this. But I mean, we've seen it with Sergio Perez at the Sakhir Grand Prix. Started the second lap in last place and won the race. So that's really why you never give up. And Darwin really showing that he's not giving up himself. Yeah.
Yep. It's valuable points as well. You don't want to finish the season and miss out on the top spot because of 2 points.
And someone who also started last, or very close to it, on the first lap, however, and we're now on board with him now, O'Hara chasing down the lead, and that gap has really gone down. It's 6 seconds now. He's gained 2 seconds since the last time we talked about it. And what are your thoughts on O'Hara's race so far?
Just unstoppable.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It also looks like we might have a battle for 11th. I've seen Pool having being quite close to ball, it seems.
That's the right one.
Oh,
yep.
Seems that they're starting to break away a bit now, but yep.
Someone spinning in maggots.
That's the 48 of
Ross
again. Porsche is just not being nice tonight.
And I saw they were yellows, but the 912, I believe, in turn 1. Oh, what's happened there? Pool's gone around. Shane Pool.
I saw him run deep. I thought he ran deep, grabbed the grass, and around he went. So, huge disappointment for that battle. Bit of a shame. I was really looking forward to hearing your commentary on that, Matt.
Yeah, it would have been. But
We still have Vanderham versus Ball, 2 Bentley drivers. And they have been going at it a little bit this race. We saw them through this corner having a very tight fight. And maybe we'll catch up to each other and have it again. As I see a lot of cars going through Village right now. That could be another battle to watch.
Well, that's the battle we have been keeping an eye on between Spinozzi, McLaughlin and Munro.
I see.
So,
well, McLaughlin 4/10 off of Spinozzi, who's 18 seconds off of O'Hara. Because I think they're around 6 seconds off of Cotta. So that gap is going down. But Cotta's putting in excellent work to keep him behind. 16 minutes left in this race. O'Hara has to gain 6 seconds and make the overtake. I'm not sure anything could happen.
let's jump on board with Hum. big slide. He saved it though.
Do we know if Ball has any damage? Because we know that Vanderhook has a little bit of bonnet damage, but not too much, I don't think. So
I'll have a quick look around the car, see if you can see anything. That.
nothing that I
No.
can take notice of. So, but I don't think Vanderhook's damage is too major. So if he can, I think he should be able to have that ability to overtake potentially.
Just a little rub.
If he catches up.
Yeah. A little bit of flapping there, but that's okay. He's got damage on the rear as well. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I don't think that's going to be impacting the performance much. It's a massive Bentley. Big GT3 cars and GT3 cars are very tough, and we've seen it with Crab. They can get away with quite a bit of damage and quite a big hit before they actually start to take performance, I think.
Yeah, comparing the Bentley to the Nissan GTR, that's apples and oranges, really. The Bentley, well, the GTR is not a car that relies on aero grip. It's very much a mechanical grip car, whereas the Bentley, I'm sure you would find it's a little bit more aero sensitive. And, I'm pretty well, fairly certain I've done a few laps with the Bentley. Not a bad car, but it's got way more aero adjustment than the GTR. So, for instance, on the GTR, if you adjust the rear wing, you have 4 positions. That's it. So that's how little reliance the GTR has on aero.
It also looks like O'Hara's made a bit of progress against Cotter. It's gone up to 4.8 seconds on him.
912, Ryan Houlihan's just binned it at Village. It's going again, but yeah.
Wonder if he's got any damage. It was at Village, though. There's quite slow speed and not many walls around there, as we see Ross go off. No, doesn't look to have any damage, so
Pretty clean
been
car.
lucky to get away with. Yeah, had a lot of spins, but I think that's attributed to not his abilities, but the Porsche's abilities.
Now, something's
And
happened here.
still in it.
Something's happened here.
Oh.
McLaughlin and Munro have both dropped way off the back.
Get a replay of that. That's a huge gap now. That's 7 seconds.
So something's happened. Perhaps maybe McLaughlin went for a move, had to pull out. Maybe had a little spin and Munro's
Houlihan has gone off at turn 1. This time it's on the inside. Can we get a replay of what's happened with McLaughlin, maybe?
Yes, I was actually thinking of doing that. Let's see if we can't pick him up quickly. Let's see. Oh, there he is.
Quite high up.
Found him. Alright, let's see. So he's still behind. So, see if we can't. Okay, Village.
Ooh, Village has a look with Munro, or Munro has a look on him.
So I think it's going to happen in the very next corner.
Oh,
that would have been Newman.
Yeah,
No,
Newman.
Newman. This is a different livery.
Well, that's the livery that's been changing this whole weekend, isn't it?
Yep. So I think it's going to happen right here. Yep.
Oh dear.
Munro's just slapped into the back of the Lexus. He'll readdress it, obviously.
Yeah, a gentleman moved to address that one. Just a mistake on Munro, a bit too aggressive and ambitious and just runs deep. But that's really taken McLaughlin out of a chance at the podium, I think, because only 12 minutes left and a 7-second gap. It's going to be a big task if he wants to make that up and make the move, which has been under the rear wing of Spinozzi for a very long time and hasn't been able to pull anything off. So we'll have to see, though. Fourth is very, very solid. And
12.
he has...
I was going to say 12 minutes, anything can happen. It's never over until the checkered flag drops, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And he has got a bit of a gap to Munro now, which is very good. And this Lexus in the rain with McLaughlin, a very good pairing, has a very good pace. So I think we could see a battle for P4 here.
Unfortunately, no other battles that I can see. Everyone's really far out, and Lockie Nichols has gone around again in maggots. And the number
Not a good race for Lockley.
36, no. And the number 36 of Ben Newman has also gone around again.
Yeah, see, it's orange now.
Yep. I think there's more than one or two drivers that are looking forward to the end of this weekend. It's been an absolute struggle for them, and Lockie is one of them, unfortunately.
Not a good way. Yeah, not a good way to go out for your final race in this season.
Van Wingard now. This is for position. So I think for Van Wingard, all he has to do is just keep the pressure on Nichols, and there we go. There's the mistake.
And yeah, wonder what happened there.
Just some wheel spin.
Lachlan, you got to turn the traction control up.
O'Hara is all over the back of Cotter now.
How's that happen? We haven't seen that at all.
I'd say Cotter's just made a mistake. We've seen all night that Cotter has really been driving that Aston hard in these conditions, and when you drive that hard in these conditions, the margin for error...
His last lap was a 2:08, which isn't that slow though.
Compared to a 2:05, no.
Oh, and O'Hara's gone 3 seconds faster in that last lap.
Yep, so Cotter's obviously just had a little lose somewhere. He managed to gather it up, but it's just been enough to lose momentum.
Here we go to switch back. Klotz off the road a little bit. It's going to be side by side into the club chicane here. O'Hara on the outside, almost touching. Klotzer on the inside. Klotzer holds the position, but O'Hara could get a better exit. Not much he can do on the run into Hamilton straight, but into Abbey. Is O'Hara bold enough to go for a move? As Klotzer's off the track, O'Hara's looking to cool the tires. Into Abbey. Klotzer's got a bit more of a gap now. Maybe something could come of it for O'Hara in Village.
Oh, the stamp has been licked. See it in the body language of the BMW.
He's got 8 minutes and he's got the pace advantage, so he might want to make this move early, but he doesn't have to, I don't think.
No, now they're both looking for water.
Yeah, that, and I think O'Hara's looking to slipstream there. The gap's only 4/10, definitely going to pick up some. So we've got a yellow flag somewhere on the track that's been cleared up pretty quickly.
It's Lockie Nichols again in Maggots. That Lambo curse is not helping him at all. Oh, big wheel spin there for Cotter. He's going to lose the drive down the main straight. Here comes O'Hara. He's going to be looking for the move into turn one, you would think.
Turn one. I don't know if anything's going to happen of this though, because it's such a hard corner to overtake, and Cotter can just push him.
He's going to go around
to
the outside.
And O'Hara's losing it. Going to get wheel spinners. There's a yellow flag, so he can't make the move anyways. I think that was one of the Bentleys in orange. No, it was Darwin.
Terry Darwin again.
That's a shame.
Really, it seems to be a cursed night for anyone who has an engine that's behind the front wheels.
That's true.
Yep. Well, we'll ignore the Bentley for now because, yes, the Bentley is technically a mid-engined car, but it's the engine's in front of the driver. There you go.
Yeah.
That's how we get around that. Now here we go, O'Hara. Cotter will have to go defensive. He does. Forces O'Hara to go the long way around. That's not going to put off O'Hara. He will now set himself up for the switchback coming out of club corner. Not quite. Cotter's awake for it. Cotter's awake to it.
It's just not worked, and it's not worked all weekend. We've seen drivers try to make the switchback out of the club chicane, but they've just not been able to have anything come of it. Into Abbey. Turn 1 and turn 2 for the Grand Prix circuit. Into Village now. Could O'Hara go for a look? He's a bit far back. Late on the brakes. Doesn't have it, but Cotter goes a little bit deep. This could see O'Hara making a move.
He'll go for the switchback. Get the better drive down the back straight. Here we go.
Onto the review of Cotter is O'Hara in the BMW with that great straight line speed that we know it has. Such an advantage looking around the outside. Gonna go into Brooklyn's. Cotter, a lot of wheel spin there mid corner. He's really on the edge of traction. Pushing him wide. That's going to give O'Hara a really good run onto the straight, though. This could be a move through turn 1.
It's going to be a brave
as we
move.
have the 48 off the track, that's Ross.
So
And that will mean that O'Hara has to get the move done before he catches up to the 48 there because of the yellow flags, I think. Unless he's going to hold behind, which he is. Yellow flag in Brooklyn's now.
That'll be right again. Oh,
That looks scary.
that is...
The gap's there, but it looks scary. They're all over the curbs there, really pushing the car to its limits, both of them. Final 5 minutes of the race here.
Oh,
Can
Connor's had a
O'Hara
bad
get the
run.
overtaken? It's a bad run for Cotter. He's probably going to go defensive, but he's not. He's going to go to the outside
No, he's
on the exit,
defending.
which is the inside for the next corner.
He's defending,
As
but
O'Hara's going to
O'Hara's
have a look around the outside. Cotter keeps the position, but O'Hara could have a better exit, which could put him at the advantage into club. He's going to take the outside, Cotter takes the inside, and I'm not sure that this is going to work.
Oh, they touch!
Touching on the
They
braking,
touch!
and
O'Hara's
O'Hara's gone round. And that's O'Hara's got the position from that.
Yep. Look, I don't
Looks
think that we'll leave the stewards to decide that. That's to me that's racing instant, play on, but I'm not a steward.
From what I saw, I'm not 100%, so I don't want to put the blame too hard on Cotter, but it looked like he just squeezed O'Hara a bit much.
Yep.
And hit into him a bit, but we'll leave that one down to the stewards, of course. But that does give O'Hara the lead, and I don't think he can be too upset with that one, as he'll make his way in the final 4 minutes. We'll see a yellow, they're coming up on it now.
That would be Dave Ross
That's
again.
Ross.
Ah. It's not your night. It's not your night.
Yeah.
It has just been a cursed night for anyone with their engine behind them tonight. Just whatever it is, the mid-engine and rear-engine cars have
Monroe has caught up to the back of McLaughlin. I don't know how many laps it's been going on for, but it is there.
A long time. That McLaughlin is catching Spinozzi. The gap is down from 10 seconds down to 3.5. So whether there is enough time is another issue, as we see one of the Astons getting out of the way or just hunting for water. Hunting for water.
I think we'll see O'Hara streaking away from Cotter a bit.
Well, already up to 1.6 seconds, so yeah.
I think that if there is a stewards inquiry, I think that, and it is Cotter's fault, I don't think he's going to get a penalty for that, as O'Hara's just going to move on anyways. Did more damage to himself. Absolutely play on, and as Dave Thornton says in the chat, and he's a fair driver. If that was his fault, he would have let Cotter back through, and I think that's very true.
100%, 100%. I've run into,
play on.
I've raced O'Hara many times in public lobbies, and the guy is so fair. He's just a very honest man, and I certainly have a lot of respect for him. I'll see what the gap. Oh, here we go. Munro around the outside of McLaughlin, and McLaughlin's actually let him have him. McLaughlin got out of it and let him have it. I wonder if...
I think he just got a bad exit, to be honest.
No, he definitely got out of it. That's my prediction anyway, but maybe these two can start working together a little bit more to try and close the gap to Spinozzi. It's
2 minutes to go, I don't know.
It's going to be a big ask, but it can certainly be done.
Well, Spinozzi's probably giving it everything, but not too much, because if he does give it too much, he could lose more time spinning out.
Yep. So
absolutely.
209.
All of these drivers are the limits here.
209 for Spinozzi versus a 207 for Munro and a 208.5 for McLaughlin. So, yeah, it's possible.
It is, yeah, and they're going to cross the line and get one more lap, I believe. Depends where O'Hara is, actually.
O'Hara is...
Right, man, neither is on the final
there it is.
Oh, wow. that was convenient.
Yeah. So
yeah,
Spinozzi
final
just
lap.
has to hang on.
1 point, 3 laps to go, pretty much, for these guys.
We'll swap over to O'Hara as soon as we can, because this has been a phenomenal drive from him, from the back to the front.
If we didn't see how good he was in race 1, we certainly saw in race 2. Back from P21, I think it was in P10 by like the 3rd or 2nd lap even. Absolutely dominant performance, and well and truly deserves this win that he's coming up on right now. But there's an incident. Car's going very slowly on Hamilton, and one yellow flag in Brooklands.
The Spinozzi fan club. They're absolutely cheering on Alex for now.
Oh, Ross right in front of the leaders there.
Porsche curse. I mean, the Porsche is hard enough to drive in the dry, let's be honest.
Yeah. Does get a good acceleration in the wet, but I mean, we see Houlihan struggling in it. I don't think it's transferred to ACC Corsa Competizione as well as it has in real life. We always see that car, like, especially in real life, I think, getting such good drives in the wet because of its rear engine and its rear weight distribution. Can really plant the power, but for these drivers just struggling with it all night, even great drivers like Houlihan struggling with it in ACC, so yeah. As
that was Matt Cotter running wide. But,
wide. Doesn't matter though.
Well, just another virtually flawless drive again from Andy O'Hara. He will come around the final corner and he will take the win. That's a clean sweep from Andy O'Hara. The number 23 crossed the line to win again.
21st to 1st. It's Cotter all out of shape. He's given up.
He knows that he's safe for second. He's going to cruise over the line. He might even be out of fuel. Never know. No, it's still running. He's all good. He was slowing down, that's all.
Almost. You can hear the engine note now. He's almost out of fuel. And no donuts from O'Hara, unfortunately, but a very good race from him. Spinozzi looks like he'll keep third on the run-ins out of Brooklands now. Coming to the line. It's another stellar drive from Spinozzi. Yeah. He's had good drives all weekend here.
And that is a double podium. Double podium for the Spinning Torpedoes. And
yes,
there he is, Laurie McLaughlin. Great comeback after a terrible race one. He's got to be happy with that. Now let's try and find our second place. It's absolute daylight between McLaughlin and Ataniak for the AM honours. Try and find where Vanderham is. He's actually under
and Vanderham in the fight with Ball.
Yeah, he's under pressure from Ball. They're coming into Village Hairpin now. So as we see, Taniak, he's got a fair bit of front damage as well. It's probably story of the night. Front end damage.
Yeah.
Just damage all in all, I think. So Taniak will come around the final corner and he will take out second in AM, but we're going to cross back quickly to Vanderham and Ball. Their nose to tail again. Really great racing up and down the field, which is fantastic to see. Great for the stream. As Vanderham comes around the final corner, he's got Ball right behind him. Ball won't have enough.
P3 and AM.
Yep. So P3 and AM and P4 and AM. Nose to tail. Well done to all our drivers. We're going to quickly try and get some sight of some burnouts or donuts somewhere. No, no one's doing donuts anymore. There we go. There we go. That's Houlihan. So, oh, there we go. So, let's head back to the garage and we'll run through the finishing order. Hand that over to Matt Dodd there.
Alright, so glorious first place for O'Hara. Great job, 21st to 1st. Yep, great race by him. So, yep. Second, Cotter. Third, Spinozzi. P4, we've got Munro. P5, we've got McLaughlin, which is really good. P6, Houlihan. P7, Marsden. P8, Ataniak.
You got to get this name right.
You got it.
Sanas. I had it in my head before I started. I was like, I know it, but then I just lost it.
Try again.
Sasana.
There we go!
Sasana, yes.
Woo! Let's go.
We got it, finally. I butchered that name absolutely throughout the whole stream. Alright, in P10 we got Crab, P11 we got Vanderhum, or Huminator. P12 we got Ball, P13 we got Pool, P14 Ferguson, Van Wingard in 15th, Nicole's in 16th, Newman in 17th, Ross in 18th, Wright in 19th, Darwin in 20th, Davies in 21st, Thornton in 22nd, Wright, and then Lucas.
Yeah, so there we go. So that wraps up racing for tonight. So let me just bring up the new... There we go, that other screen. So while we're sitting here, let's pick our driver of the race. I'm actually not even going to bother with that because everyone's going to pick Andy O'Hara. And for good reason as well. That was an unbelievable drive from him to go from very back of the field to first. Geez, even I doubted he could do it, but he's done it. What do you guys
And
think?
I have to hand it to McLaughlin as well for the AM win. And after that race one, it was absolutely awful. There's no hiding it. It's no secret. He drove awfully in race one. Then he started 8th. Wasn't the best of positions, especially compared to his P3 in the first qualifying. But starting 8th in the second one, and he moved up, and he was in, I think, 3rd for a while,
Yeah,
or 4th for a while,
he
before
was,
dropping down to 5th, behind Monroe,
he
winning.
was battling away and pressuring Spinozzi, a very experienced sim racer.
And
Munro. He was holding off Munro. I think I am convinced that he handed that position over to Munro. But yeah, I agree with that one as well. So great redemption
Absolutely.
drive for McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Right, well, let's go through what we have coming up in the next week or so for Go Race Promotions, Sim Sports, and, well, Go Race Promotions on Twitch. So on Thursday night, we have got the final round of the Go Race Promotions Sim Sports Super GT League. It's very, very close, I have to tell you. It's 5 points between Chris Ruffalo and Alfonso. Definitely don't want to miss that one. And in GT3 as well, it is very tight between Justin Rediex looking for his first league win ever, league championship ever, and Steve Duro in second place. And that is coming to you at Suzuka. It's going to be a great night of racing. Then on Friday night, I believe we will probably have another stream lined up with GT Club, hopefully. Not sure what they're racing. I think it's going to be another fun run that hopefully we'll get enough entries to do the stream. And then, of course, next Sunday we have got the next round of the V8 Supercars with AK Racing, and very much looking forward to that race. Of course, we'll be bringing you the first couple of races for Grid 2, and then moving on to the entire night of Grid 1. And well, for those of you interested in getting into sim racing, check out AK Racing's Discord, and also check out our sister league, GT Club, as well on Discord. And, well, while we're at it, we'll may as well put up the link to the Go Race Promotion Sim Sports Discord, because we've got quite a bit coming up as well after the Super GT. So on the 7th of January, we have TCX, event number 2, which, if you're new to this channel and you have never heard of what the hell we're talking about, TCX is a little invention of ours, where we have combined GT3, GT4 and V8 supercars for basically a touring car multi-class match made in heaven. And then after that we have got a new league starting up, being the Australian Touring Car Masters, which is combining the Group A and Group C mods for Assetto Corsa. So make sure you get onto that and get involved. That's going to be absolutely amazing to race. Make sure you got those H-pattern gearboxes all warmed up. And also just a quick shout out to Pazur109 for the follow at the last minute. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Big thank you to Connor Bell and Matt Dodd for joining me in the commentary box. It's been absolute heaps of fun for me.
yeah, it's been fun for me as well, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you guys are more than welcome in the commentary box. Let me know if you ever want to join up. But anyway, we're going to wrap up this stream. Thank you very much to everyone for joining us. That's basically a 3.5-hour stream. We survived. Unbelievable.
we did it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will catch you guys next time. Until then, adios.